Above the noise.
Oh
27 minutes past 6, 97.3 Citi FM. It's the 24th day of the month of April. And of course, you're tuning to your favorite radio show in the morning, broadcasting from Adabraka in Accra. And this is called Victory Praise, a medley of praise songs put together by the irrepressible Diana Hamilton. It's the fantastic piece of music artistry laden with motivation and power. And that's how we choose to start the morning. Starting off with business sense, it says the growth within you will help you rise above the goals before you. The growth within you will help you rise above the goals before you. So you don't need to get bigger, you only need to get better. Permanent change starts from within. So no matter how lofty your goals are, if the growth is not from within, you cannot accomplish those goals. This is true for individuals, this is true for businesses, this is true for countries. It's true of humanity. You must grow within to flourish without. You must be larger within so you can do better on the outside. So the question is, in your silent moments when nobody's watching, what are you doing? It takes habit and consistency and persistence to enlarge your spirit, to enlarge your soul, to enlarge your mind, so you can conquer new territories. And some of that starts with what you listen to every day. We're happy you've chosen us. It's a bundle of motivation, inspiration, great questions, fantastic music, useful, sensible conversation, all in the name of building a nation. And this first part is called Business Sense, brought to you by Access Bank. More than banking. Fakitwa Beji Kesia. Deposit a minimum of 250 cedis in your existing or new account. It could be current or savings, and increase it to 500. Qualify for a draw up to 500,000 cedis in cash up for grabs. Rewards like PS5, iPhone 16, Chromebooks, and more in our 4 monthly mini draws and 2 mega draws. Call 0800 004400 for more information. Access Bank, more than banking. Oh yes, I love it. The growth within you will. So it's not how lofty your goals are. The quality of a goal does not determine its accomplishment. So having a great idea or having a great dream for yourself is not enough. In fact, the more noble your goal, the more opposition you face. There are bad people with bad goals who do better than good people with good goals. Why? Because the bad people go through the discipline of achieving the goal. So don't say my dream is better than yours, my plan is bigger than yours. Is your discipline better than mine? That's the real question. So it's the growth within you that helps you achieve the goals before you. I love this. We're starting off with the news review segment with my colleagues, and it's brought to us by Total. We have an incredible new formula for your vehicle's excellence. It's called the Total Excellium New Formula, an additive enriched fuel with a powerful 3-in-1 action, cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. Experience the difference with Total Energy's Excellium New Formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. And we're also sponsored by Piva Beverages in 5 distinct flavors of cola, orange, cocktail, grapefruit, and tangerine. We are bursting with new flavor. We are changing the breakfast, the lunch, the supper taste with a fantastic new beverage available at your local store. Call 0550-032231. Piva, a taste you love. And of course, the segment is also brought to you by Fidelity Bank. Every goal deserves a chance to flourish, and with hard work, dedication, and a strong belief in yourself, the seed of greatness is within reach. Trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality. Every song in this medley is beautiful. It's a great song. It's a great song.
I love it. I mean,
she just went from A to B to C to D. Incredible.
I mean, okay. Incidentally, I woke up this morning
with one of these songs.
Yeah, but one of my favorite songs.
What is it called? Were you in the choir or something?
Yeah,
because this kind of songs only choir people sing it.
Yeah, mano hajiji ko gbesi agbetegbe. Yeah, mano hajiji ko gbesi agbetegbe. Yeah, mano hajiji ko.
Abuchi parts.
Yeah, kugbe.
Dum 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 dum.
Yeah, mano hajiji ko gbesi agbetegbe. Yeah, mano hajiji.
This one I don't know. Never heard it in my life.
It's a beautiful song.
No, you have to get the right choir director with the right dondo drum to give the tune so that we can match with it. You're the big man.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
If you have 250 Ghana cedis right now, it can do wonders for you. Chairman, Fabeji, it could turn your tears into joy in the Access Bank Fakitwa Beji Kesiye promo. Madam, Fabeji, it could get you up to 50,000 Ghana cedis cash prize. Business owner, Fabeji. As a student, make transactions with your Access Bank card, and that could get you Spotify and Netflix subscriptions, PS5, iPhone 16 Pro Max, and more. This be out of class senso. Fabeji, you see what 250 Ghana cedis can do for you? And Gasakra. Fabeji, it's the Access Bank Fakitwa Beji Kesiye promo. Deposit a minimum of 250 Ghana cedis and its multiples in your new or existing accounts and be on your way to winning a share of the 580,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes and other amazing rewards. The more you deposit, the more your chances of winning. Promo runs from now to September 2025. This promo is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Access Bank, more than banking.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Oh my, this lights is on a bit.
Guinea, ice. Malink up Tanata, Migbona, Paklakota Graja. Migrena Mary, Quayado Pavi, Boba Move the Street Aji. Now for the Kale Yama Yabolet, Blue Military Kukamwama plane. Haja. Timana Kota Graja. Edu Haja. Miladu Haja. Yeah. Forget your wahala na muaba galana duwe na jalaga. Awodo kube nyak paliga hajado skimo novo vale fariga. Sunday makava maklan. 5 ma khodi veve. Obo zigi di John le sort city. Afya kachi to honji mangam. Da apology. Makodeji. Chikodeji. Abe matakli. Obeleke. Atende.
One day.
Oh my God. I need to enter your playlist one day. In fact, you send it to me, so I save it as which is Sky playlist.
Thank you.
It will start from your favorite hymn and end with this type of song.
Thank you.
6:36 on the City Breakfast Show. Today is Thursday, the 24th day of April. And we're jumping into the newspaper review with Richard Sky and Godfred Akotobuafu. So the list of MMDCEs for
yes.
Accra has been released, and
I'm highlighting two names.
Which two places?
Two names.
Which places?
So Michael Kpakpo Alote.
Kpakpo Alote for where?
Is Accra Metro.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
Yeah, he has been campaigning actively for the role.
Oh, okay, so you know.
Yeah, so
Michael Kpakpo Alote.
If they say somebody campaign
actively for the role,
he campaign for this like he campaigned for MP.
Okay. So for AMA,
AMA.
and then who else?
And the 3 towns that make up AMA.
the three enclaves. AMA, what is left of
Yes.
it? Okay.
And George Kpakpo Alote.
For where?
Ablekuma West.
So you alone, you have 2 alotes. So you're on your way to work, you pass through 2 alotes.
Yes.
Michael Kpakpo Alote and
Yes.
George.
Kpakpo Alote.
Are you serious?
I don't know whether
And
they are-
he's for Ablekuma West.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So I want to greet.
You want to have a meeting with the two
I
of
want
them?
to greet
You want to have discussions?
the Kpakpo Alote boys.
My man, yes, yeah, my man, they don't give him something yet.
Who is that?
The other Kpakpo Alote,
Which Kpakpo?
council.
No, Nick Kpakpo.
Nick Kpakpo Samoa.
Yeah.
But lawyers, they always have,
No, but
we have
give
work to
him
do.
something.
No, he's in his own.
He's doing his things.
No, they need to give him something.
Maybe they'll announce
No,
something
it's
soon.
because he's my man. Yeah.
But I lost
Yeah.
George
They don't
Kpakpo
give him
Alote.
something,
What
yeah.
is his problem? What has he done?
No, Ablekuma West say I should welcome him on their behalf.
Okay.
And that.
What is the task at hand?
The Brussels. The
the
Brussels.
task?
It's a lot.
The
Eh?
Brussels.
In fact, Ablekuma West, the task there is bigger than Accra Metro.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
We'll spend some time on
Yes.
that, and then try and acquaint ourselves with who these people are,
Yes.
and let them know what their work is supposed to be. Let's start with the
We'll
headlines.
give
then.
them pressure, Papa.
It's very important. They have to
Front
work.
page of the daily. If they know the pressure that is coming,
They will work. MCE, no honeymoon.
George Kpakpo Alote.
Yeah.
They should swear him in quick.
So that he can start
We
quickly.
need him like yesterday.
Okay.
George Kpakpo Alote.
Oh, it's okay. Let him
But
be.
he forgot do the work for the ground, though. First of all, he for win the thing.
Yeah. So you see, like, he hasn't even been confirmed.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
He
That
has to go and make sure the assembly confirms
they
it,
should confirm him quick
so that you can start.
because we don't have time.
You don't have time. Okay.
Front page of the Daily Graphic, Bernard. GJA demands reconstitution of NMC board.
Okay.
At IMF World Bank Springs meeting, Africa calls for debt restructuring. Comes with a photo of Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama, the governor of the Bank of Ghana. Government fails reach agreement on the mine transition, and government rolls out chip-embedded passports.
All right.
Let me take you to the Ghanaian Times. Newborns to receive hepatitis B vaccination. This is a big issue, really, in many parts of the country. We're told that it's happening from October of this particular year. Quoting Dr. Amponsa Achiano. Also on the front page this morning, mineral wealth must benefit everyone. But why is the VIP here? This is Dr. Ofosu-Ampofo, but they said VIP. I don't know why. Have they replaced it?
Maybe he read a speech on her behalf.
Okay.
It's possible.
I see. And then also researchers, policymakers discuss health systems strengthening within Africa and some other stories.
Front page of the New Republic this morning, fraud. Drama rocks CJ's petition. Conflicted Gimpa Law School Dean indicted in leak. Who's the editor of the New Republic? He needs to do better.
The headlines are somewhere.
David S.K. Tamaklo. You did not edit your newspaper this morning. I'm sorry.
Is it the grammar or the
Everything is bad.
Okay.
Everything is bad.
David,
Raymond Acha rise to Yoko boss.
some way.
Yeah, the punctuations are off. The tenses are off. Concord is off.
Charlie.
I mean,
And children are listening.
yeah, David Tamaklo. I will not read your newspaper this morning because of that.
Okay, so
Daybreak
you are
newspaper.
banned for today.
Maybe it's the printer's devil. So
If he wants us to review his paper, he should edit. He should do the job
Correct.
that he has.
All right, let's go to the next one.
The Hawk newspaper says MPP drags its feet on Afoko for 10 years. No reinstatement, no expulsion, and just limbo. Also on the front page this morning, we are told that abandoned and broke, Somanye's Echo University screams for rescue. So this one, we pumped a lot of money into it and we are not using it.
Oh, that university. Eh?
Charlie, somewhere, yes. You know that thing that created a lot of storm in Parliament.
Charlie.
And then something here that says that defying the big man, only NMC can sack me, not even the president. So it has to do with what's happening at GBC and related matters.
Front page of the Daily Guide this morning, Bernard comes with a photo of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. He says, I didn't lose over Muslim faith. Mahama sacks Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO Dr. Abdullahi is now acting. Comes with a photo of a smiling Dr. Adam Atiku. And also Toko News response to petitions pop up.
All right.
And let me take you now finally to the Daily Post newspaper. Wuntumi's accounts frozen by the Financial Intelligence Center, FIC. Also on the front page this morning of suspended CJ Tokono, President Mahama has demonstrated consistency and fidelity to the 1992 Constitution. They're quoting Eduji Tamaklo.
All right.
And then also this is a confession. Sami Jemfi is reacting to Chief Justice's response to the petitions against her.
Let me take you online, citynewsroom.com. World Bank to help create 500,000 jobs annually for Ghanaian youth. Photo of Atu Forsen and a World Bank rep. Now, Tamale Teaching Hospital, we need to talk about that today. Doctors have suspended emergency and outpatient services in reaction to what happened a couple of days ago.
As in they are on strike.
Yes, but it's a phased one, so they've suspended emergency and outpatient services as they begin a strike. We're told national service personnel to undergo military training from August this year. And then LI 2462 will be revoked when Parliament reconvenes. Sami Jemfi is assuring. Also says all permanent PMMC staff are still at post. And then Asunada Adapa, a former deputy AG, says Council of State's primary facial case against CJ is flawed. Right, and there are a few more stories. Now let's go to Boko. Attack will be met with full military response. Chief of Army Staff warns. So he is. Meanwhile, Sweeney is saying that Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO's dismissal not linked to hospital altercation. So he's trying to dissociate what happened, I think 2 days ago, from the sacking.
Okay.
Meanwhile, if you go to Channel 1 News, the same story but a couple more angles. Gold Board will recess streamline gold trading sector, according to Sami Jemfi from his interview yesterday. And then Mahama appoints Raymond Archer as acting executive director of IOCO.
What happened to the other?
He's been reassigned to national security place.
Oh,
yeah.
What's happening? They're reassigning people left, right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ibi Bright and Ludwig Totime and others nominated as MCs. We'll give you the full list during the show. And then government reaches 12-month transition plan with Goldfields for Daman Mine. I'll highlight that as well for you. All those stories from Channel 1 News. If I go to the global scene, it's a very interesting story on Reuters, and it's talking about battle over baby multilaterals may trap Zambia and Ghana into longer debt default. It's an interesting read from Reuters on the continent. And then trouble in Russia, Ukraine. Russia attacks on Kiev kill 9 as Trump accuses Zelensky of preventing peace. Keep an eye on this as well. And there's also a lot of confusion in India, Pakistan. India has expelled Pakistan diplomats and closed their border crossing after a deadly Kashmir attack. The never-ending Kashmir problem. And then, of course, Pope Francis to be laid to rest. We were watching yesterday as thousands queued to see him lying in state for the second day. So those are the global stories making. And there's a very interesting one here. China sends Boeing planes back to US over US tariffs. The trade war is well and truly on.
Start from Tamale for us.
Okay, so Tamale, I'll give you.
The newspapers don't have two.
I'll give you 2 stories on Tamale. The doctors have suspended emergency services and outpatient services as part of a phased strike. Now, this story is by Jonathan J on citynewsroom.com. Doctors at the hospital suspended emergency services and outpatient services, citing unwarranted attacks from Health Minister Kwabena Minta Kando and Tamale North MP Al-Hassan Suhini. The decision was made during an emergency General Assembly meeting at the Doctors Association of Tamale Teaching Hospital yesterday, April 23. It came just hours after an earlier statement from the group condemned an incident during the minister's visit to the hospital's accident and emergency unit on Tuesday. Quote, all members of the DATTH, which is Doctors Association of Tamale Teaching Hospital, have proceeded on an indefinite suspension of all emergency and outpatient services. That's general OPD, so outpatient department, antenatal clinic, specialist clinic, pediatrics OPD. The association announced the suspension, however, does not affect inpatient care, which means if you're already on admission, you will get treatment. It will continue until patients are safely discharged. Now, the doctors are demanding unconditional apologies from both the Minister of Health and Tamale North MP to Dr. Valentin Aklu, a medical personnel at TTA. So this is not about the CEO. This is the doctor who was interacting with them in the audio I played yesterday. And particularly those at the accident and emergency department. We shall resume provision of emergency and outpatient services after we receive appropriate apologies. So this is not that serious. So I think they should just apologize and move on. Now, yesterday we spoke to Al-Hassan Suhini. So yesterday, Eyewitness News and CNN spoke to Al-Hassan Suhini on this matter because the view is that the altercation then resulted in the dismissal of the CEO. Now, Suhini is denying this. He's MP for Tamale North, saying that the dismissal of the chief executive is not related to the altercation that we broadcasted. He's basically saying that the dismissal of the CEO has nothing to do with the 31-year-old Salman's dismissal. A 3-member committee has been set up to look into the matter. No, the 31-year-old Salman's altercation. A 3-member committee has been set to look into the matter. The CEO of the hospital is not the gentleman who was in the video being in exchange with the minister. The gentleman, you see in the video, we are told is a dedicated worker in the hospital, but he was simply cautioned by me and the minister not to suggest that the recent death of Salim was being blown out of proportion because we thought it was insensitive. So this is the background. A gentleman had died. People were very angry. Minister pays a surprise visit on the hospital and they are engaged in a hearty conversation. At some point, somebody within the hospital side suggests that people are blowing the man's death out of proportion, which enraged the minister. That's not the right attitude to take when somebody dies. And we heard the ending of how that thing occurred.
That thing is
Then
too quickly.
yes, it just escalated. Then, less than 24 hours after that, the president sacks the CEO of the hospital. Now, this strike, according to the doctors, is on the way they spoke to the doctor on duty, who they believe was doing a good job, and has nothing to do with the CEO.
The whole thing is not tidy.
So they want the minister and the MP to apologize so they can go back to work. What is your advice?
I think, look, let's de-escalate. The people's lives are at
Yeah.
risk. You are the minister for the area. I mean, personally, I think that they ought to have managed that situation better. So if it is an apology that you have to
Give it to them.
or do it.
So they can go back to
Yeah,
work.
because
the thing, a lot of doctors work under extremely difficult conditions. So some of them get offended when duty bearers come and sort of just blast them.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Particularly in front of the cameras. All right, but the other point is that they are your supervisors. They are your appointing authority. They also have a right to be upset. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah,
it's
but
a
you
balancing
see, there's
act.
a way you talk to your subordinate. And I don't think that what happened
Yeah.
on camera
Yeah.
is the best example.
But is
we
a
want.
strike a proportionate response?
Well,
That's the other question.
Yeah, that's the solidarity issue. So we can also question that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the doctors too have to be minded
Yeah.
by their
A
oath
whole
to save
hospital
lives.
will not work because somebody has been spoken to in a bad way.
that's-
I mean, that's some way. You get it?
No,
So-
but there are a list of demands that they've made in terms of the water must flow
yes.
constantly at the hospital. They are saying they need oxygen. All
Correct.
So there are very specific things they've asked for.
We'll deal with it when we come back. Let's
Okay.
get into other stories.
Let's stay within the socials because the Minister for Finance is saying something about the energy sector. You know, these days people are complaining about doom so a lot.
Yes.
Now, if you go to the Ghanaian Times, the minister speaking elsewhere is quoted here. Energy sector is Ghana's biggest economic risk.
Yes.
Quoting the minister, it says the story is by David Adadevo. It says the Minister of Finance, Dr. Kesel Atoforson, has described Ghana's energy sector as the biggest economic risk facing the country. Now, speaking during a deep dive session on the Ghana Energy Compact and the Mission 300 at the ongoing World Bank and IMF spring meetings in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, he said the sector was burdened with a financial shortfall of approximately $2 billion. Now, this amount, he said, surpassed the country's domestic capital expenditure. This is a very serious matter, and he goes on to point out the difficulties that we are likely to face if we do not resolve the problems in the energy sector.
Let me take you to Goldfields, and on page 6, Prince Fifi York, page 6 of the Daily Guide, Prince Fifi York reports that the government has issued a 12-month mining lease to Goldfields for the diamond mine, pending parliamentary ratification in May 2025. This decision comes after the government initially declined to renew the mining lease due to Goldfields' failure to declare mineral reserves, provide a technical program, and allocate a budget for exploration. Under the new arrangement, Goldfields will resume open pit mining during the transition period, safeguarding jobs and conducting feasibility studies to establish diamond reserves and mine life.
Staying in that space, there's a story linked to the vice president on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times. Let me just mention that quickly, and it's by Cliff Ekofo. And it says that avail expertise. No, not that one. Sorry.
You are doing a different story.
Yeah, it said mineral wealth must
stay in Ghana, benefit Ghana. Yeah.
It says the Vice President, Professor Jane Nano Opoku-Ejiman, has called on stakeholders to work together to achieve sustainable mineral wealth that benefits everyone, especially persons in mining communities. Now, according to her, mining communities still remain underdeveloped due to the wide gap between the enormous profits of mining industries and the allocated funds the funds they allocate to the mining communities. And apparently, Dr. Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, who is a political advisor.
Yes, in the Vice President's office.
Was speaking.
Related story, CEO of the Gold Board, Sami Jefi, has announced that LI 2462, which currently permits mining in forest reserves, will be revoked entirely once Parliament reconvenes. He was speaking on the point of view yesterday and said that as soon as Parliament reconvenes, he's been told by the Attorney General Dominic Ayine that the bill to revoke the controversial LI will be made or laid. Is that how the word they use? Before Parliament.
It has to be laid.
Laid, yes. So basically, that's a victory for those fighting this menace. Now, let's deal with other things.
I have other stories to run through on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. The Ghana Journalists Association demands reconstitution of NMC board.
All right.
So the Ghana Journalists Association has called for the immediate reconstitution of the National Media Commission board to give impetus to media regulation and promotion of media freedom. The association said the delays in inaugurating the NMC board were inimical to media regulation and other issues on the practice of journalism in the country. He added that this coming from Albert Kwabena Jumfor, president of the GJA. He added that 5 months after the tenure of the previous board has expired, the GJA had learned that some of the institutions with representation on the commission had not presented their representatives. So that's one issue.
Let me just connect to that before you come back. And if you go to the Hawk newspaper, the NMC is still there in the news.
All right.
This time around, they are dealing with the Director General, and we're told that a fresh wave of controversy has erupted within the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation as Embattled Director General Professor Amin Al-Hassan Mohammed publicly dismissed the authority of the President to dissolve the State Broadcasters Board. Addressing staff at Ideba on April 10, 2025, Professor Amin defiantly insisted that a mere statement from the presidency was quote-unquote not potent enough to end the tenure of the GBC board, despite a nationwide directive from the executive secretary of the president, or to the president, Dr. Callistus Mahama, announcing the dissolution of all boards of state-owned enterprises in line with the new government.
Godfred will give us 3 stories, then I'll give you the list of MMDCEs as announced.
Yes, so more responses to the suspension of the Chief Justice. On page 19 of the Daily Graphic, Queen State Justice Tokonu minority to government. This is coming from Alexander Apenyo Markin. In a statement issued, the minority described the move by the president to suspend the Chief Justice as a violation of due process, especially when there was a judicial review pending at the Supreme Court. Now, Dr. Osai Kwapong, John Osai Kwapong, that this is a governance expert, on page 18 of the same newspaper, is asking for a tightening of loopholes in Article 146 to ensure transparency. I heard you making that same call yesterday on the breakfast show. And the former vice president has been speaking, and he's saying on page 3 of the Daily Guide that I didn't lose over Muslim faith. Speaking at a post-election party engagement in Accra of the nationwide thank you tour, Dr. Baumia called for unity within the NPP. Quote, "Let us be clear. This was not about religion," Dr. Baumia stated, and added, "People said we lost because our candidate was Muslim, but this doesn't make sense, and it's not backed by data. Ghana is not that kind of country."
There are 2 very interesting stories on health that we'll discuss later. Private health facilities to absorb 68,000 nurses at home, and then only 5% of consultation rooms can diagnose patients, yet we build hospitals. Very interesting angle. Kwame Sapong Asiedu, a fellow of CDD, says only 5% of the country's consultation rooms have the necessary tools to properly diagnose patients. Yet government after government keeps building hospitals without addressing the real problems. We should stop the political dishonesty, he said bluntly on Joyous PM Express. Now, this was in relation to all the discussions in the health sector. And I think it's an interesting position to take. In addition to that, so investing in human resource, investing in infrastructure, what is the best way to improve healthcare?
So
we can talk about that.
As a result of the non-performance of many of these labs in our public hospitals, people have set up private which are doing very well.
Yes.
You go to those.
Sometimes it's deliberate. So you make the public one bad. When the person comes, then you direct him to your private facility. This is what some of the people were saying at Reach. So I think that there's a whole kind of worms in the health sector. Maybe the Tamale controversy gives us a chance to open and have a proper discussion around how public hospitals are supported, how they also conduct themselves, and the way they treat patients. Then we can know the way forward. Let me end with MMDCs. Now, so Channel 1 News is reporting that Ibi Bright, NDC parliamentary candidate for Tema Central, has been nominated MC for Tema. Her nomination comes amid protests from some residents in the area that wanted an indigent. Then there's Ludwig Totime, appointed MC for Tema West. Now, these nominations are in accordance with Article 240 of the Constitution. Now, here are some of the other names. So, in the list that was released yesterday, Bole Bamboy's name was Abdullah Mahmoud. Atebuba Mantin was Musa Masood Ayaba. But let me give you some of the places in Greater Accra.
Your side.
So, Ningo Prampram, Raphael Uriel Nate, Ashaiman Freeman Cheko, Adenta Elia Esinam Nongo, Gan West John Desmond Sowa Nai, Gan East Edmond Agbo.
Gan West, you do mention Gan West?
Yeah, so Gan West is Amasaman.
Yes,
John Desmond Sowa Nai. Gan East, Frejabano. Frejabano's area, Edmond Agbo. So this is Domikwa Benya getting towards Agbogba, Edmond Agbo.
Okay.
Gan South, Moses Kabi Okanse.
Okay.
Gan North, Akwete Agbo.
Another Agbo.
But this one is without an H. The Agbos are many. Gan Central, Emmanuel Adote Alote. So the Alotes are so many. So Gan Central, Emmanuel Adote Alote.
Okay.
Then you have Ablekuma West, George Kpakpo Alote. Then you have Accra Metropolitan, Michael Kpakpo Alote. I need to give it my new Alote to my name. Let me give you a few more. Ayawaso North, Haruna Mohammed Awal. Ayawaso West Wogon, Michael Mensah.
Okay.
Ayawaso Central, Rudolph Collingwood Williams.
Okay.
Ayawaso East, Abdul Ganiyu Ibrahim. And Ablekuma Central, the other place you've been complaining about.
Yes, I have a big one this morning.
Franklin Cancer.
Hey, Frank.
Ablekuma North,
Frankie.
Adamu Musa Kalam.
Adamu, you too.
Then Okankwe North, which is where's Okankwe North? Tesano area. Christian Tete Baja. Wejagbawe Felix Odate Lamte, Lejokuku Isaac Ajete, Otwima, Krowopo Afotekwe, La Alfredo Ninya Nyitei, and then Lankwantanang Ibrahim Faila.
Okay.
Kole Klote, which is where we are, Alfred Gazy.
Okay, but so is Ibrahim still fighting for her?
That's the question I wanted to ask.
You can't fight two battles at the same time.
So you
fight one and lose one.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangerine. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning, and you know the money calling, oh you go work, but you know it's out in your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, oh, cause you know it's out in your side. And when you dream, no say I live by you. And when you hustle every day, many wanna go. Anything you do, I live by you. Many want. If I believe I live your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I live your side, fidelity.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
City Business News at 7 with Nashi Kasisa. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Coming up, Bank of Ghana directs banking institutions to strengthen dual control mechanisms to minimize fraud. Also coming up, Goldfields Limited and Ghana strike strategic deal to revive Tamale mines. And later, World Bank backs new growth and job strategy to create jobs for over 500,000 unemployed Kenyan youth. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. The Bank of Ghana has directed all banking institutions to minimize fraud by strengthening dual control mechanisms and implementing mandatory staff rotations for employees in sensitive roles. According to the Bank of Ghana's 2024 fraud report, while fraud incidents declined by 18% compared to the previous year, the total value at risk increased by 11%, rising from 72 million Ghana cedis in 2023 to 80 million Ghana cedis in 2024. Daniel Odomensa has more in the following report.
The report, which also includes data from payment service providers, PSPs, revealed a significant surge in forgery and document manipulation, which emerged as the most severe form of fraud. This category accounted for 67% of the total value at risk for banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions in 2024, with losses skyrocketing from 7.47 million Ghana cedis in 2023 to 53.5 million Ghana cedis, a nearly seven-fold increase. This was largely due to a single major incident involving 53 million Ghana cedis. Losses due to identity theft also rose sharply, increasing to 5.7 million Ghana cedis in 2024. This spike was attributed to inadequate due diligence during financial transactions involving the Ghana card. The report further noted that recovering fraud-related losses remains a significant challenge for financial institutions. Lengthy legal proceedings often deter banks from pursuing restitution. In the PSP sector, the total value at risk climbed to 19 million Ghana cedis in 2024, with 15,673 reported cases. This represents an 18% increase in the value of cases and a 7% rise in the number of incidents compared to 2023. As part of its recommendations, the Bank of Ghana has instructed all banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions to begin implementing compulsory staff rotations for individuals in critical roles. The central bank also called for the need to foster a security awareness culture through regular events, forums, and discussions.
Daniel Odomensa filed that report. Moving on, the World Bank has committed to supporting Ghana and tackling its youth unemployment challenge by backing a new growth and job strategy aimed at creating opportunities for over 500,000 young people entering the job market annually. The announcement followed a high-level meeting at the World Bank headquarters between the bank's Managing Director of Operations, Anna Bejedi, and Ghana's Minister of Finance, Dr. Kasiola Tuforsen. The two leaders discussed plans to collaborate on the design and implementation of the strategy, which focuses on job creation skills, development, and inclusive economic growth. Now, Goldfields Limited has announced a landmark agreement with the government that paves the way for the revitalization of its Tamale mine, securing jobs, boosting local participation, and setting the stage for a long-term sustainability strategy. In a media release, the company noted that after months of extensive discussions, the two parties reached consensus on a new 12-month mining lease subject to ratification by Parliament in May. This agreement enables Goldfields to resume open-pit mining operations at Tamale while continuing to process surface stockpiles in the interim. The company also committed to accelerating a bankable feasibility study to extend the mine's life, with completion targeted by year-end. Now, the acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jimfi, says the institution's real success should not be measured by operational achievements, but by its ability to stabilize the exchange rate and build gold reserves for the country. In an interview on Channel 1 TV's A Point of View hosted by Bernard Avle, Sami Jimfi stressed that until these economic goals are met, the board's effort would be in vain. The acting CEO of Gold Board's remarks also follow a recent announcement inviting gold trading service providers to begin their license registration process.
The overarching objective for the setting up of the Gold Board is achieved, which is exchange rate stability and gold reserve accumulation by the central bank. We have achieved nothing. And so at the end of the day, that is what I want to be measured by. And that is what the president will measure me by. So far, I believe we're on track. We're still learning by the day. With the cooperation we've had from stakeholders and industry players has been very helpful. And I have no doubts in my mind that very soon you'll begin to see the results. And when the results starts coming, we will know whether or not we're fit for the job or not.
Sammy Jamefi is the acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board. Now, to apply for a Gold Board license, gold trading service providers should visit www.goldboard.gov.gh. On the website, select a preferred licensing regime from the available options, such as the aggregator license. Next, you create an account to access and complete the application form. Once the form is filled out, you submit it online for processing. Moving on, the Data Protection Commission has reaffirmed its commitment to building a secure digital ecosystem, one that upholds user privacy and safeguards the integrity of the digital space. With the growing integration of artificial intelligence onto business operations, the Commission says it is stepping up efforts to ensure that innovation does not come at the expense of data protection. Speaking at the 2025 MTN Business CTIO Roundtable Africa Conference, the newly appointed Executive Director Dr. Arnold Kavopo stressed the importance of aligning data governance with emerging technologies to foster responsible digital transformation.
For business leaders, the imperative is clear. We have to align AI deployment with real measurable value creation and solving problems that enhance both your company's strategy but also, importantly, societal well-being. In conclusion, AI is not in the future. AI is present, and the choices we make now as business people, as technologists, as innovators, will determine whether AI becomes a tool for shared prosperity or a source of new inequality. Ghana is committed to building an ecosystem where ethics, innovation, and trust are not in conflict but in alignment.
That was the acting executive director of the Data Protection Commission, Dr. Arnold Kavopo, speaking there. Now, Accra Marriott Hotel has marked its 7th anniversary with a renewed commitment to delivering premium service in Ghana's hospitality sector. The hotel, located near the Kotoka International Airport, also revealed plans to expand its footprint in the country as part of its growth strategy. Speaking to the media during the anniversary celebrations, General Manager of Accra Marriott Hotel, Luciano Shelza, reaffirmed the hotel's dedication to maintaining high standards of service delivery, while also urging authorities to enhance policies that ease access for tourists coming into the country, noting that such initiatives are crucial to boosting tourism and hospitality industries.
We never settle. We always look for opportunity to do more and more, especially when it comes to our guests and our service provided to them. Our guest promise is wonderful hospitality always. So we always find ways to improve our guest journey, but also we want to improve the journey of our associates, our people. Ghana, I think, is being a developing country, has a lot to offer when it comes to hospitality, not only in business, for business purposes, but you have a lot of natural beauties and heritage can be displayed in the world. So I hope that the authorities make it a bit easier for people to access to Ghana, because the country has all that it takes to become also a touristic destination. We have big plans in Marriott to develop in West Africa. As a matter of fact, as of by the end of 2025, we'll open our second property here in Ghana, our four Points by Sheraton. We are putting in place measures to grow our hospitality footprint here in Ghana. But I hope also the government and the authority makes it a bit easier for tourists to come here, because the country has a lot to offer.
Luciano Shelza is General Manager of Accra Marriott Hotel. Now let's have a quick market check on the currency brought across some forex bureaus. The dollar is going for 16 cedis 10 pesos. The British pound is going for 20 cedis 40 pesos, while the euro is going for 17 cedis 30 pesos. Remember that these are the rates being offered by the forex bureaus to the public. And that's all for the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and Echo Bank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
Where are you?
Bossman, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
City Business News was brought to you by EcoBank. Every day people face different emergencies. Police, fire, medical, you name it. But many Ghanaians don't know the emergency numbers. Well, here's one you'd want to remember. *770# is the new EcoBank money emergency number. Gives you instant access to loans, funds transfer, utility payments, airtime and data purchases, so you can do a lot. Dial *770# for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank. Kickoff is next to Polytank. Oh yes, don't get deceived if you're not sure of what you're buying or you don't really know the market when it comes to storage tanks. The name you should talk to and patronize is Polytank. Polytank has been with us for over 30 years and has been trusted by all these generations. Make no mistake, choose Polytank for guaranteed quality. It's available at the same price across the country at our Polytank partner shop. So whether it's the Rambo, the Hippo, the Sumo, or the Super Sumo, durability is always assured. Polytank, the original, always the best. Papa no. Caution, Polytank does not request for Momo payments online. Don't be duped. And we're also sponsored by Shell Helix 0W20, fully synthetic motor oil designed from natural gas using the Shell Pure Plus technology, which prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than industry standards. So if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP for more premium, made for premium. And the Lesheho Don't Call Me campaign has come to you because you deserve financial peace. Life comes with financial challenges, but with Lesheho, you don't have to face them alone. From now to April 30, we've reduced our interest rates just for you. Whether it's education, rent, or unexpected expenses, we've got the right loan to meet your needs. Call or WhatsApp Lesheho on 0270-040799. That's 0270-040799. Let's make life easier together. Lesheho, let's improve life.
Timber. Past Eza. Trossard keeping his feet and finding the corner. 3-2 for him, and Arsenal lead again.
All right. And so the man is here, Edwin Kwakufi with Kickoff. Good morning, Edwin.
Good morning, Bernard. It's Thursday morning. Welcome aboard to Kickoff. Arsenal thought they had picked up their 19th Premier League win of the season against Crystal Palace when Leandro Trossard did that. But in the 83rd minute, this happened.
Oh, mistake. Bad mistake as well. Raya off his line. It is a sensational finish from Mateta. A defensive error, emphatically punished.
Jean-Philippe Mateta capitalized on an error by Arsenal defender William Saliba to steal a point for Palace. Later, we'll get you some reactions from the game and what this result means for incoming Premier League champions Liverpool. Kickoff is powered by Zonda Ghana, Polytank Ghana, Shell Go Well, and Lesheho, let's improve life. Let's start off with the acting head coach and technical director of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito, who says what the players need right now is not just a coach, but a friend and a father figure. According to Zito, giving the team's poor run of form and the recent resignation of head coach Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum, the players are likely going through a difficult period. As a result, he intends to meet them at their level emotionally and mentally to help steady the team and bring back confidence.
This time they don't need. It's not coaching they needed. They don't need coaching. They need me to be their father. They need me to be their friends, and they need me as they are. I have to come low to their level to get what I wanted. You understand me? Because playing matches and you don't win with a Santo, you can't go out. If somebody sees you standing somewhere, he might even frame you are waiting for your girlfriend.
Well, Abdul Karim Zito also adds that taking on the Asante Kotoko job was not an easy decision. According to him, this is the first time in his career that he's been given a clear mandate to win a trophy, making the task both challenging and significant.
Yes, it wasn't easy taking up this mantle because previously it was only the technical director issues, and then before I entered into it, the coaching issues will come. So I have to take the double for the rest of the 6 matches. It is not an easy task. For the first time, I've been asked to come and see to it that the team wins a league. I've been to save so many teams from relegations, but not to help to win. So this is another task for me. I've not done it before. So I think taking over at this particular moment is not an easy thing.
That was the acting head coach and technical director of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito. Let's head to the Premier League in England. Well, Jean-Philippe Mateta scored a late equalizer as Crystal Palace came from behind twice to end a draw at second place Arsenal. Arsenal took an early lead at the Emirates through centre-back Jacob Kivior before being pegged back as Eberechi Eze volleyed past Raya. Trossard puts the Gunners back in front before Mateta capitalized on Saliba's mistake to equalize. The result means Liverpool are now 1 point away from being crowned Premier League champions for the second time in 6 seasons. A draw against Tottenham at Anfield on Sunday will now be enough for Arne Slot's side, who lead Arsenal but 12 points to clinch their 20th league title, equaling Manchester United's record. But let's head back to last night's game and hear from Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta, who admits his side went at their best in the draw.
Unfortunately, we haven't delivered the quality that is necessary in the Premier League in many areas to win the game or earn the right to win the game.
And very uncharacteristic errors that led to that second goal as well for Crystal Palace, weren't they?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
And as for Palace, do you give them credit for the way they approached the game today?
Well, I already mentioned that twice, yes.
And a clean bit of health coming out of this going into the PSG game as far as you know?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to a doctor, so we'll have to wait and see.
And just finally, nice to have a long gap now before that PSG game. Is that quite convenient for you?
Yeah, I think we need it because we have, as I said, a lot of players that they're not in disposal to train or to play, so we need them back.
That was Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta. Still staying with Arsenal, and the Gunners have opened talks with Thomas Partey to extend his contract with the Black Stars midfielder's deal set to expire this summer. Previously expected to depart, Partey's resurgence in midfield under Mikel Arteta has made him indispensable, prompting the club to act swiftly to avoid losing him as a free agent. Mikel Arteta has handed 40 appearances to the Ghanaian this season, with the 31-year-old being used as right back at times, as well as his favoured midfield role. The report says that Partey is seeking a 2-year contract extension to remain at the Emirates Stadium and would apparently also be open to a 1-year deal with the option of a further year. Some more transfer news, and Marcus Rashford feels it is unlikely he will play for Manchester United again under Ruben Amorim, but will not be rushed into making a decision about his future. The forward scored his 4th goal since joining Aston Villa on loan in their 2-1 loss at Manchester City on Tuesday. But while his United contract is due to run until 2028 and it is not completely out of the question he might return, sources close to the player do not see an obvious way back into the Old Trafford fold. But former United defender Wes Brown would like to see the striker return to Old Trafford.
Yeah, he's really turned the corner with his performances. He's been playing excellent at Aston Villa.
he officially still is a Manchester United player. So for me, I'd love to see him back and playing that way and that well for Manchester United. And whether that happens, we'll soon find out. But I'd love to see him again at Manchester United.
That was former Manchester United defender Wes Brown speaking on the future of Marcus Rashford. And finally, in the NBA, Jalen Green shrugged off a poor playoff debut to score a game-high 38 points as the Houston Rockets beat the Golden State Warriors 109-94 to tie their series at 1-1. Steph Curry top scored for the Warriors with 20. In the Eastern Conference, both the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers took 2-0 leads over their opponents with victories over the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat respectively. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff is powered by Shell Go Well, Polytank Ghana, Zonda GH and Leshehu. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Bernard Avlet continues.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's share go, we improve your life. Papa no no ankasa. Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytank, we did Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytank, the original, always the best.
There are some classy celebrations that calls for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle up to 50% more than the industry standard and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra SP 020 made for premium. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
When the pain is too much, don't know what else to do. So rapping all, will take the pain away. Rapping all,
Rapinol is what you need. Rapinol will relieve you of all aches and pain in your body. Rheumatic pain, menstrual pain, body pain, toothaches, and other feverish conditions. Rapinol is a quality product from Danex Itin Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. Not suitable for children below 16 years old, asthmatic, and also patients. This advert is FDA approved.
See, your rich auntie gets more from Absa. Your childhood friend gets more from Absa. Your favorite uncle gets more from Absa. Your roommates gets more from Absa. Digital solutions get more from Absa. Rewards be bring get more from Absa. 5-star treatment get more from Absa. Preferential rate get more from Absa. Easy banking get no on the Absa. Instant loans get no on the Absa. Bank papa party get no on the Absa. NTK account and get more from Absa. Yes! Join thousands of Absa customers enjoying priority treatment, preferential rates, amazing rewards, and seamless digital solutions to help you write the next big chapter of your story. Sign up for an Absa account today and get more. Your story matters. Absa.
No power. This year, take the first step towards a deeper connection with God and one another. Join us for the Family Consecration Service, a powerful journey of faith, love, and renewal. In 2025, we are called to consecrate our homes, our hearts, and our lives, to dedicate ourselves and our families to the path of faith, grace, and unity. Through prayer and reflection and a shared devotion, the Family Consecration Service 2025 brings families closer together, strengthens bonds, and invites God's presence into every corner of our homes. It's on Thursday, 1st of May 2025 from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel International, Accra. There will be renewal of vows for married couples. Join countless families around the world as we come together to consecrate our lives in the spirit of love and faith. A consecration for today and for generations to come. Make this year a new beginning. Family Consecration Service 2025 for the love of God and the love of family. Join us this year. Together, let's consecrate our families and our hearts.
This is the City Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
Sitting down the coast in my little rowboat. Whoa, ain't found her yet, got a ways to go. Gotta find that girl and make her mine. Yeah, mine. Oh, she's the one with the big brown eyes. In my dream, I met this girl. We were in love at Port Royal's Cove. I promised her I'd show her the world, but now I'm awaiting and there is no girl. Sailing down the coast in my little rowboat. Oh, ain't found her yet, got a ways to go. Gotta find that girl and make her mine. Yeah, mine. Oh, she's the one with the big brown eyes. Now I've heard that dreams come to life, and if this is true, she'll be my wife. Crazy they call me, but soon they'll see we'll be as one and live in harmony. I've seen a lot of girls and they're fine, and they fight so fine. Not one, no, not one. She's got the cutest little smile. I'm looking for the one with the big brown eyes. Sailing down the coast in my little rowboat. Whoa, ain't found her yet, got a ways to go. Gotta find that girl and make her mine. Yeah, mine. Oh, she's the one with the big brown eyes.
Smooth sailing.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
.733 City Breakfast Show. This is 97.3 City FM. A few birthday requests coming through on the show this morning. Good morning, please. Bernard, wish my daughter Sandra a happy birthday for me. I'm so proud of you and incredibly grateful to have you as my daughter. Yes, to another year of wonderful adventures and happy memories. Coming in from Isaac J. Kwachi, who's the PRO of the Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions, to his lovely daughter Sandra. Your dad sent a very beautiful message that I should read for you. Also, another one coming through this morning. Happy birthday to Nana Kojo Dakwa Tieku of the Assurance Department of Deloitte. Also to Deborah Ajekum of the Audit Department. Belated happy birthday to Dorcas Kuting of the Audit Department and Belhad Adam of the Growth Office. All of these from your country managing partner Daniel Owusu. Wishing you the very best of the day. Happy birthday to Sena Mensa Agbeko from your good friend Sally. I'm grateful for all you do for me and may God replenish you. Happy birthday to Mama Yvonne. We love you dearly. Thanks for raising us into the people we are today. You are truly worth celebrating and we choose you all over and over again. From your children, Jesse, Eric, and Sheba. Oh, Sheba. So that's your mother's birthday. Yeah, so Sheba, Jesse, and Eric wishing Mama Yvonne a happy birthday. And to Her Excellency Juliet Brino Sutherland, High Commissioner of Barbados to Ghana, wishing you the very best on your day, coming in from the whole team at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television. To Excellency Juliet Brino Sutherland. To Bambi Efualaye, wishing you a celebration filled with love, laughter, and cherished moments. And another one.
Okay, so there are a number of them here. So please wish my wife Peggy Juliet Adobia Nto a happy birthday. We pray that the good Lord will usher her into her divine purpose. May she forever remain the virtuous wife and caring mother that she is. I also wish her twin brother, my brother-in-law, Percy Julius Ado Nto, a happy birthday. God bless him and his family abundantly. It's coming in from Jonathan Welbeck, Mary Welbeck, Joshebed Welbeck, and Peggy Lois Welbeck.
All right.
This one says that, hello Bernard, wishing a happy birthday to Nathaniel Holali Amoa. Cheers to a new year of God's continuous blessings. Love from Ellie, Joel and your wife Amma, or it's Joel and wife, right? Amma Ohiniwa, together with the Amwa Nunekbeku Wahini and
Ohini and the Du families. It's a mouthful, yeah.
And this one says, kindly wish my son Sewenam Jiejom Koshiga. I know this name. A blessed and happy, fabulous 5th birthday. You have been the best gift to us from God, and we cherish you so much. You shall rule in the midst of your foes, and nothing, and no one can stop you. Happy blessed birthday, my son. And it's coming in from your parents, Peter and Antoinette Kwashiga. There's somebody, what name is that?
Kilsyth. I think that's a place. Scotland. Happy birthday to my very good friend Etonam Adoboy. Is the managing partner of Keystone Solicitors. Celebrating your birthday today. Long time friend. Enjoy the day and keep rising in your legal field. Etonam Adoboy. Alright, now this morning I wanted to use the controversy in the Tamale Teaching Hospital to have a very open discussion about healthcare in Ghana. So what happened? The health minister and the MP for Tamale North stormed. This is where storm is a useful word. Stormed the hospital, I think 3 days ago, and to have a conversation, basically an unannounced visit to look at the state of emergency care, because there had been many reports of the poor service at particularly the emergency side. And there had been a 31-year-old man who had died, a patient who had died there, which led to a lot of anger. So I believe the minister and the MP went there to check for themselves without announcing their visit, what was going to happen. And the audio clip that we heard, it was a pretty civil, useful conversation until a remark was made by, I think, an official of the hospital to the effect that people were blowing the death of the patient out of proportion. And Sky, you see, for me, I can understand when a duty bearer gets angry over certain things. Okay, so for example, when the fire incident occurred in Edum and the Kumasi, the minister of the Ashanti region got angry. Look, sometimes when you're a duty bearer and people are working with you and you don't see the sense of urgency, it can be annoying. Okay, so remember that he blasted the fire service officer, who then who basically also went to social media to blast him back.
But you and I disagreed on that.
Which, fine. And then now we come to this particular one as well, where they're having a discussion, and you see,
what's the difference?
That's the point. A patient is died, and again, I wasn't there, but the context of what I heard was that a comment was made about the like people are blowing this thing out of proportion. Okay, and the minister's like, no, you can't say that. Somebody has died. People are hurting. Okay, then it became back and forth. Okay, so there are two sides here. The person who's in charge feels like there must be more empathy, there must be more remorse when a patient loses their life. When you don't have facilities to work with, you still have to give your best of care to the patient, and you don't need to appear callous or unconcerned or basically indifferent.
Why?
That's the one side. Then the side of the person who is the professional is like, you know what, I'm working my socks off. I don't have constant power. Sometimes water doesn't flow. I'm not that well paid. I have colleagues who've left the country, and I'm doing my best. So you can't come here on one visit and come and grandstand with cameras and come and be blasting me in the open. Okay, I'm saying that between the two sides, we need to see both perspectives. If you go to a newsroom of people who are always not doing well, you are supervising a team of journalists, and they're always giving you excuses, you will be angry. Even though, yes, they can say that they don't have all the facilities in the world to work with, that doesn't mean they shouldn't produce certain results. So it depends on where you are. If you are the way you see somebody's supposed incompetence or callousness or mistreatment of their customer as a duty bearer is not the same as the worker who also believes that he's working against all odds to do his best. Okay, so I think both sides may be right, and we need to find some middle ground. But the most important person here is the patient and the family of the patient, who doesn't have a voice. Okay, so we can argue all we want about what the minister did or the hospital did. Hospital has gone on strike. I think it's rich. Minister has come to blast one of your colleagues, therefore you are going on strike. Seriously?
Solidarity.
So you weigh the professional pride against your own professional commitment to saving lives.
Yeah, so
okay, I'm laying out the issues. I'll give you the matter. My point is, fine, you can say solidarity, but Sky, you cannot tell me that having outpatients turn back home, emergency services not being received. The Tamale road has many accidents. Last week, 10 people died at a place not far from Buipe. 3 of them were missionaries from Jamaica. They were rushed to the hospital. They believed that they were not given the best of treatment. They died. Okay, now you cannot call a strike on the basis that one of your colleagues was poorly spoken to by a minister, and therefore, do you know the importance of Tamale Teaching Hospital to the people of Tamale? Do you know how many people would die because of this strike? Yeah, so we have to balance things. Yes, the minister may have gone overboard in the way he spoke, but do you decide that you will not work because somebody is angry? Is that what you went to learn as a professional? Come on. So let's be balanced. And by the way, you as patients, the treatment, you went to a hospital. You go to hospital, everything doesn't work. Meanwhile, they will connect you to a private facility where everything supposedly works, which they have shares in.
Has the government provided everything?
Can the government provide everything? And does that justify why every single thing does not work? You go to lab, they work. You go to even the way they even diagnose you. You get it? So you even this week you went to the hospital. What did they tell you? That the thing doesn't work, so go and pay. You had to pay so much money for something that should have been there. So let the hospitals do not make it look like they are so good and that people are just being unfair to them. Last 2 weeks we got stories in the newspapers about Snit Hospital, Ridge Hospital, that people go and do surgeries. When you go and do the surgery, they will ask you to make all kinds of payments when you even see what you are paying for. Go and read the newspapers. You go to a hospital to do a surgery, you are desperate, you are paying so much money. Then they'll say go to some lab in Osu or Cantonment and pay for some gadget. You won't see the gadget you pay for. They give you a private receipt. Then you go and do a surgery. They don't even give you the equipment back. And hospitals are overseeing this rot. And then we shouldn't talk. Go to UGMC. People become comfortable and callous because they know that when people are sick, they are desperate. You go to private facilities in Osu. 100, you go to do tests, go to that place, they will give you nice treatment. Go to Kolebu, go to 37, see how they will treat you. Well, if you're a minister, what will you do? Fine, you can't change the system in a day, but you also have to show that you are committed. How else do you show that this has to stop?
So the minister's role is to rage bait and to generate public outrage, not to solve the problem. What does we are outraged?
No, but in the chat you had, were they angry from the beginning?
No.
It degenerated.
I gave you 15 minutes.
It degenerated.
But I gave you 15 minutes.
I thought you were asking me a question. I'm answering you.
No, I gave you
it degenerated.
Hold on for me. Bernard, what was the purpose of the minister's visit?
Fact-finding.
To fact-find.
Yeah.
With the member of parliament of
Tamale North.
Of the
Tamale
area.
North, yes.
Was there to fact-find.
Yes.
On something that they had heard.
Yes.
Other than that particular issue, had the minister heard other reports about the hospital? He did same for Ridge, right?
He went to Ridge last week. Jude was there. They did a full report, and he promised that Iyoko will investigate.
Okay. So, in this particular instance, his visit was on the basis of the complaints that had come.
I believe so.
Why did he need to have that conversation with the person who runs the hospital?
Who runs that facility? Not the full hospital.
Who runs that facility with a camera in their faces?
Journalists follow ministers everywhere they go.
No. So the minister could not have gone to the man's office and said, we have heard ABCD. This and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
The motivation and the look of it was that you had come to create a scene.
But when you heard the audio yesterday, did it seem like they were creating a scene?
No.
I played the audio yesterday.
Bernard, when I am coming to seek answers from you on something I've heard, I will not come with a horde of cameras behind me to come and ask you, hey, what happened here? What is going on? What are the issues? No. I will come and have a conversation with you privately.
It depends.
And say,
it depends. Sky, sometimes we follow.
No,
so sometimes, no, are you asking me? I'm answering you.
No, I'm not asking you.
Then
okay,
the rhetorical. Okay, then don't look at my face. Because when you look at my face, I will answer you.
Not for you to answer. We have seen. I am not a big fan of the generate public outrage and leave work undone system of things. I am all for a candor's enthusiasm. You need that kind of enthusiasm for the deep-seated problems we have in the health sector.
Mm-hmm.
The willingness to attack those problems head on.
Mm.
But also must have an understanding of the sector that you work in and the skill set of the persons involved, the limitations of the people involved. So in him going to that hospital facility that day,
mm-hmm.
what was his understanding? What is his briefing? Because one, he's the
Minister
of Health.
Mm-hmm.
There would be a regional director of health.
Mm-hmm.
What has the regional director of health told him about the circumstances at that hospital? What has the regional director of health told him about the conditions that perhaps had led to the sad, tragic passing of this individual that led to the minister feeling that he had to go there with the sitting member of parliament?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So there are a whole number of ways that answers could have been sought without the need for what we saw. You see, because we also don't have to, and my concern is this, and I spoke about this in the first week of the appointment of new ministers. I even addressed it when Shamima was here. There is a lot of show what you are doing on camera with this group of ministers, CEOs who have come in. I don't know why, and it does look like it's a strategy. The public does like to be informed of the work that you are doing, but there's a way to go about this.
Mm-hmm.
That is why you have communication experts. That is why you have publicists. They do that kind of work. That is why, as political parties, you would even have a communication department, because political communication is very different
mm-hmm.
on what you want to sell. But in the function of being the supervising head of that sector, showing up with a horde of cameras behind you.
I don't like your adjective horde.
It's a horde.
It's our work. It's our work.
Bernard.
Horde saying.
Bernard.
Horde saying.
Bernard.
How many cameras were there? Bernard. Are camera people evil people now?
No.
That you are describing us as a horde?
No.
Like locusts?
Horde speaks to intention, it is the minister's intention in this particular circumstance that I am speaking to. His intention was to generate outrage.
But that has been a strategy even in opposition.
No.
He's been going to hospitals with camera people before.
But
even in opposition, he was doing it.
Yes, but I am saying that what you do in opposition to generate outrage does not mean that you do the same thing when you have actual power to solve the problem, because then you work within the confines of something. So, for instance, if I have made my name as a social commentator or a blogger, an independent blogger, I have built my following, and you hire me to come and work at Citi FM, you might like some of the nuances of the things I have done to build that following. But once you hire me, there will be conditions as to how I operate, irrespective of the successes I have achieved. You will say that these are the constraints of where you work. This is what you must do. But you still have the free will to do what you do so that we will also benefit. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm following.
So, the minister has done something in opposition. Now that he has actual power to solve the problems, he must also understand that he is bound by the strictures of his office. There are processes to be followed, which is why I said, what was the report that he had been given by the regional director? What prevented him from having an adult conversation with...
The fact that you are talking in front of camera means the conversation. I'm saying now, listen to the voice we play.
Bernard.
They were having a decent conversation.
Bernard.
It was a decent conversation.
Bernard.
You heard me.
Bernard, you see, what have you... You can say it was a decent conversation.
It was going fairly well.
How did it degenerate?
Because somebody said something which was out of sync.
Exactly.
You
see, because the minister had a group of people with him.
Yes.
Now, within those group of persons is somebody who felt that there was a need for somebody to be mellowed.
Fair.
We don't know who that individual was, but why did that person need, if the minister had sat down with said person in his office, would that person be there to have a conversation? If that person were there and even this happened, is that how you would talk to the person? So, in all this, we've lost again, and I'm very happy you made mention of the fact that in all this, it's the patient that loses because we are the most important. But we must also understand that there are limitations to what we can do. There are processes that need to be followed for the work that we do. It is good to shed light on those things that the public has seen.
So
what is happening there.
You think it's like some stunt?
No, I'm not saying it's a stunt.
Go there and what's happening? You
see,
is that not part of leadership? That you have to also set the tone by going to the place of action.
One thing I have learned covering politics in this country is every politician in this country is smart and moves with a strategy.
They don't do anything by heart.
There is no politician in this country, no matter how much you underestimate him or her, who does anything by heart. No matter how misguided it might look, no matter how misguided it might sound, all of them will explain what they do for you. And most of the time, after they are done explaining it to you, you will know that there's rationale to this. The rationale might be justified or not. So, again, I say, showing up with the camera there in that instance to have the conversation there. This was the ER that he showed up in. Is it not?
I think the lobby, yeah, I think so. The ER, oxygen, where's no oxygen? We have to even get the voice. But I get you.
So I am just saying it could have been handled better.
Fair enough. Now, you've made a point about the general approach of some of the new leaders where they want to go with cameras and things. Now, two things. Is that not a sign of the times we're in? That right now, a lot of the public are consuming their information directly on social media.
Yes.
Now, you lead people who are young who also want to know what's happening.
Yes.
Now, we use cameras to do a war against indiscipline.
Yes.
Law enforcement does not necessarily have to have in front of cameras, but for a whole season, it was profitable because there's a certain sense in which throwing light on things gets people to sit up.
Yes.
Now, if you inherit a system that is problematic, is challenging, you can do two things. You can, as you say, you can work in chew gum. You can put in place structural things to bring change, but also do some immediate things to say it's not business as usual. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't have a problem when a minister goes to a place to ascertain directly what happened. Mm-hmm. Fine, you can say that a better way is to say, let your own family go through the same health system. It will give you a more sober taste of reality. So I can get it when they try and do everything for the cameras. But I'm saying, a lot of the people who run these places also need the light to be shown on what they do.
I do not find
and in shedding that light, I do not think that that conversation was out of place.
Bernard.
It was a decent question and answer session. Fine, something happened, it went off. So I hear you on the point that you can't solve systemic problems with PR stance. 100%, I cannot disagree with you. Although I know some of these things can be good for the public, that's why you and I are talking about it. It's a good start. You can't solve that problem. My other question though is that at the end of the day, Godfred, look at the reaction of the hospital. I think it's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate because when the patient died, you didn't go on strike. You could have said, this patient died because we have requested for oxygen for many, many years. We've not gotten it. There's been neglect in Tamale Hospital and therefore will not work again because our patient don't deserve to die. You didn't go on strike on the so-called concern for the patient over all the things the government has not done. Somebody comes to blast one of your colleagues and you think that going on strike is the best way to resolve it. So you are more interested in your professional pride than your commitment to the health and the life of the people.
No.
And I'm saying that is wrong because if really there is a grievance on the part of the health professionals, it should not be over that 2-minute altercation.
Bernard,
because not even a lot of people even saw that thing.
Bernard,
for it to deserve a whole strike.
No, Bernard, this is a very simple matter, and I like the point you've made. The how many patients died that day in the hospital?
Definitely more than one. But one became emblematic because of the circumstance and the way it happened.
How did the minister come to the determination that that particular death was medical negligence?
We haven't said, yes, we are saying that there was public outrage.
No. The minister...
But the minister hasn't said that... did you hear the audio?
No.
The minister hasn't blamed the...
So why did the minister go there?
To ascertain what is going on there.
So there's a death at the Dansuman Polyclinic today. Is the minister going there?
No, because the outrage... but you are leading people... Godfrey, if you sit here... I don't understand what you're saying. So there's something has happened that has generated outcry.
No.
And as the duty bearer, you have to go.
No, you see,
you should say that
we are likening a duty bearer to a regular person, which is why I disagree with you. You are saying that the duty bearer deserves to behave like I would respond or you would respond. Then why are you a duty bearer? My response to an emergency in Citi FM should not be Samensis response.
No. If there's an emergency that has led to public outrage,
no matter, you see, Bernard,
so the minister should not go there.
There's a reason why you are better paid than I am. Do you know that?
But that's why.
There's a reason why he's better paid than you.
But that's why some decisions. Wait. Are you saying that the minister's reaction to the outrage ought not to have been going there? It should have been more like a structured response because it's that same structured response, right? Letter memo. The whole thing can become a cover up.
No, but
the whole thing can become. You see,
the point I'm making.
The whole thing is business as usual.
No, I'm trying to answer your question about the response of the hospital that you feel is not proportional. The doctors
it's disproportionate.
Yes, hold on for me. And I'm saying that you are getting that response because the doctors they would feel that the minister coming there was an act of bad faith. And hold on, you see?
Why? You shouldn't come there?
No, so I ask you.
Is it a no-go area?
Bernard, hold on. I say, how many people died that day at the hospital?
We don't know.
Exactly. So what accounted for the minister's presence there?
The outrage.
Which outrage?
Of the people in Tamale about that person's death.
Why?
Because the circumstances were strange. He has to go and find out what happened.
He could not have called the regional director to ask, give me a briefing before I get there.
He probably did. That doesn't mean you shouldn't ask those questions. The fact that he got a brief doesn't mean you shouldn't go. My point is that going there is symbolic and also substantive.
It was not useful.
Well, the outcome shows that it probably was not.
It was not useful.
It probably was. That's why we are talking about it today.
It was not
if
useful.
you hadn't gone there, we'll be discussing Galamsey or something else.
We will still be discussing because, Bernard, a lot of people have died in hospitals. Public outrage has gone. We have discussed those issues.
Yeah, but
did ministers go there?
Yeah, but so wait, is the hospital why? If can the minister go to the hospital to go and check? What is the problem with going there?
He can. How many hospitals is he visiting today?
But what did the minister even say that requires a whole strike? What did he even say? Play the audio. What did he even say?
I'm saying which hospital is
people are desensitized. People are desensitized to the needs of patients. They've created fiefdoms. They don't care about people's health. They've created private business out of our life. And sometimes you need outrage to start dealing with it because not everything is within your control as a minister. Sometimes when you go and even set up a probe, by the time they do all the things they do, there's a whole cover up. Other institutions are involved. Sometimes you need to go there and let people. The anger of the public is also currency that you can use to bring change to places. A lot of our institutions, people there don't want to work or they want to make money. You even pay to use a toilet. You go to a hospital, you want to you have to pay money. They don't give you receipt. Yes. You are telling me that all these things we should just sit down and let it go on because my regional director will tell me what I should do.
I did not say
a lot of people in the chain are compromised. So for me, even the sacking of the CEO, yes, it should have followed due process, and they are saying it was not linked to the.
Do you believe it?
I don't. At this point, I don't even care.
Okay.
Because he's overseen this rot for years.
Okay.
And he hasn't done anything about it. So I don't even want to cry for him. The TUC can talk for him. My point is that if somebody is sent to Tamale Teaching Hospital today, we need better treatment. This morning they should sit up. They shouldn't be going on strike. They should be saying that. They should be saying that today we are tired of the bad publicity we have generated. Let's treat our patients better. Let's write a memo to say, in view of these patients, that we demand these things. Give it to media. Call journalists and say we need oxygen. We'll report it for you. Media can also be a good tool for exposing poor facilities. So the minister doesn't have exclusive right to media. There are also journalists in Tamale. The hospital could have called and said, for 6 weeks we've asked for oxygen, we've not gotten it. Write a story about it. We'll write it for them. So our presence there should not be. Don't they use us to cover their programs? So why should when we follow the minister there's a problem? Why can't we discuss your work in the public? Why shouldn't the public know that sometimes your callous nature lets people die? What is wrong with that? So you go on strike because you have the luxury to go on strike and you still be paid. You are there to save. Do you know how many poor people will die today because of a strike over somebody's anger? Why we all get angry yesterday? Blasted me in a meeting. Does that mean I won't come to work?
But nobody saw a camera there.
There are people there, but I'm here.
Let's be prepared to admit
that
you see.
Let's not do this.
Have a crisis situation. There's a way to deal with it. The question you ask yourself is whether the path the minister chose, right, albeit to ascertain what may well be going on there, produce the result he wanted at the end of the day. Because when he saw the situation escalating, and so-called, Choboy boys were behind, we are my minister, Kasa. That was where the thing didn't say that. I mean, sort of. You listen to the voice closely.
They didn't say that.
I want us to find a delicate balance.
I'm working with you.
As an employer, there are specific responsibilities imposed by the Labour Act on you, the employer, to create the kind of environment that will make it possible for the employee to deliver his responsibilities.
And as a worker, there are special responsibilities enjoined on you to deliver service to your customer also.
Exactly.
You haven't done that.
Hold on, Bernard. What I'm trying to say.
Let's all come together. We are not debating one another on this. Okay. It's beginning to sound like Bernard is on one side, Godfrey is on one side.
We are all for the patient.
They are all saying the same things. I think there are just little variances in this one, okay? Maybe how the minister conducted himself, why he went there, whether he has achieved it, okay? Now, these questions are legitimate questions. They don't actually nullify the points that Bernard is also making. This is the point I just want to put it in context.
Exactly.
That is not you versus me kind of conversation. Because, frankly, there are deeper issues that confront the hospital for which the hospital staff or the community of doctors should be very angry with. Now, whether they have done that, we don't know here. I mean, whether in the past they have registered their frustration, whichever way, we don't know. And we can't
No, but there have been statements issued in the past by the medical association complaining.
Those are genuine. We are talking about specific situations.
I'm not saying they haven't done that. I'm only saying that let's give them the benefit of the doubt that they probably may have done it and gotten to the point where, look, we've done whatever we can. Okay. Now, is it also true that there are people who have been given the responsibility of managing our state hospital facilities who refer people to their private facilities?
It happens.
And mess up the state, So I'm just saying that it's a mix of a lot of things. But the question that Godfred is asking, so the minister chose this angle. Now, minister should understand that the guy there is an MPP appointee, and there have been rumor about they want to remove him.
You mean the director?
Yes, the one who's been moved. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if there's suspicion between yourself and the minister, I can understand why the minister would take this approach. Now, and I'm not even condemning the minister. I'm only explaining that, look, the minister went there because he knew what he was expecting to find. That's why he went with media. He knew. He didn't go there to have a meeting to check what was going on. It was to catch him that finally I've caught you. These are the cameras. That's my thinking. Okay. He could have attended to this situation with a better approach. But I'm not condemning how he did it. Question is, did he achieve his objective?
We'll answer that question when we come back from the break. It's 4 minutes past 8. And I think some instances is useful because even though it's like we are exchanging heated words, we all agree that the customer, the Ghanaian patient,
is important.
Is at the
heart of
is bearing the brunt of bad governance, political, and also administrative healthcare delivery at the public service. So both people are not doing well for the Ghanaian patient in terms of investing, supervision of the facility, and making sure that the right outcomes. The poor patient is bearing the brunt of all of those things. So I'm not here to take somebody's side to say it's right or wrong, but sometimes you need to break the cycle for people to sit up again, which is my reason for supporting the action. Would bring you tech and social media trends. I'm very sure Tamale is trending. And of course, TTH is the name for the hospital. Let me bring you the sponsor. First Bank can help you send or receive money from different countries in Africa: Nigeria, Gambia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Djibouti, Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe. The list is increasing every day. Visit any branch of First Bank with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time. To receive money, all you need is a First Bank account. Call 059 69 21 921. First Bank, you first. Segment is also sponsored by Telecel. If you're looking for the best value data and voice offers that are tailored to your needs, at Telecel we understand Everyone has their preference. That's why we have the unbeatable made for me bundles just for you. The affordable customized data and voice packages personalized for you. Simply dial *530# or download the Telecel Play app to subscribe to your special made for me bundle. Telecel, connecting energies. Susu, let's get straight into the segment.
Well, of course, like you said, Tamale Teaching Hospital is trending, so the kind of blowback from this issue, and then the general strike. The strike, it's not a general strike, it's a phase strike, if I remember correctly. That has been issued by the staff of the hospital, has got people discussing. So a lot of people kind of feel like they agree with Ben. It's a mixed opinion bag, I think. Some people agree with Bernard that the doctors are being a bit irresponsible in going on strike, that they never complain when they lack equipment, but the moment someone comes to talk to them, they'll complain. I'm saying what people are saying on social media, so Sky, cool down.
Let the mask do his work.
Cool down for me, because that's not even any opinion. So, and some people also agree with Godfrey that the hospital is not well equipped, well staffed. So how can you expect some certain responsibilities from them? So like I said, it's a mixed bag, and it shows the issues in our health sector. An interesting one, Gridco is trending. So former, is it former? I mean,
former MPP candidate.
The election is over. So former MPP candidate for the Adentan constituency, Akosia Menu, built a 5-seater. Can you call it a 5-seater toilet facility? 5,
as in public toilet.
Yes.
Under some, I think,
yes.
Gridco facility.
So allegedly, the facility was built under high tension cables on Gridco land. There was some sort of confusion. So the Gridco people, allegedly, because Gridco has not said anything, so they are claiming that the people claimed they were Gridco. And from the reports, they kind of they demolished it after one day. So it's like she's done her work, and then after one day, they've come to clear everything. So this is a controversy.
I think that is problematic. I mean, on both ends. If you want to build on a proper land, the requirement is that if the land doesn't belong to you, do proper research, you know who the owner is, and seek the consent of the person, or even buy the same if you have to do that, right? Yeah. And then you build. Where somebody comes to build on your property, it doesn't take a day for a person to build on your property. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It takes time. Yeah. This is a public toilet, 6 or 5-seater.
Five.
Meaning that it took some time.
Yeah.
So are we saying that Gridco also didn't see that all along there was some construction?
I agree.
And then also, where somebody does something like that, you don't take the law into your own hands and just go there and then bulldoze the thing down. I think there is equal fault that we can share.
But Sky, I have a question, as a learned individual as yourself. If I have my land and I have my documents and someone builds on my land, do I need to go to court to break the thing if it's my land officially? Because it's my land. I think it
depends on where the building has reached. If the building reaches a certain level, you have to.
That's why I'm asking. Because
so if somebody trespasses onto your property, immediately when you are there,
you can clear it.
You can deal with the person and say no. You can't come and do this. But you can't take the law into your own hands to now say that, oh, you have come to build on my property, and then you go and marshal bulldozers and come and destroy it.
No matter what level the building is.
You have to get the police involved and say, please, this person has come to
build
do
on
ABC. What can you do about it? Come and arrest the person or come and deal with it.
Or stop the person.
Inappropriately, go to court and deal with it. But where you take the law into your own hands, then it means that what? You are arrogating yourself the authority to intervene in a matter that ideally belongs somewhere else.
So it means that we've not seen the end of that issue. So keep moving.
So now a little bit of sports as usual. So like I said, the NBA playoffs are going on. So the Golden State Warriors face the Houston Rockets in Game 2. And
Western Conference.
Yes, Western Conference.
Semi-final.
This round. We're still in the first round. So the games becoming thick and fast, and they will be reducing as we go along. And the Warriors lost Game 2 after winning Game 1. So they are going back to Golden State for Game 3. And Jalen Green had a great performance. He put up 38 points, and it's very impressive because he was playing against top players like Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry.
Who is your tip for the NBA? Who do you think will win?
I think it's between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Boston Celtics. I think
Boston Celtics will win the Eastern Conference.
Yes, and they'll win the Western Conference. I know Benjamin Nketiah disagrees with me on Oklahoma City Thunder. He thinks they are not ready, but
we'll see.
I think they are ready.
And
then there was a bit of football, of course, the Premier League. So Arsenal.
It's coming home, baby.
Yeah,
it's coming home, baby.
Arsenal drew again. So I think this is their 13th draw in the league.
Draw specialist.
And it looks like if Liverpool avoid defeat
just
against
avoid
Spurs,
defeat against
they will
Spurs.
be champions.
That's
And
all. Just
Williams-
avoid
Some
defeat.
late crowning. You know, that's why I like Guardiola.
Oh, you can't do anything.
In this neck-to-neck situation,
Guardiola,
you Charlie or Arsenal no try. Yesterday,
What kind of against is that? So you don't want us to be happy?
it should be sweet, isn't it? You know, they're crowning you with so many games to spare.
Oh, it means we are the best team.
Oh.
Yes, and William
This
Saliba
man
is
was
William Saliba is also training because he made another mistake today. So people are wondering.
He's tired.
So,
He's been
but
about the
look,
best defenders in the league the whole season.
Look, they have a long break. They have about a 6-day break until PSG. They're not playing this weekend,
Yeah.
so I think they'll have good time to rest. Crystal Palace to have a cup game
As they
coming
prepare
up.
for the guard of honor for us in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's looking like, and
Chelsea will give us the first one next.
Getafe and Arda Güler are trending, and Real Madrid, because Real Madrid they got a 1-0 win at Getafe, and Arda Güler scored a goal. And you know he's really struggled for game time, you know, because it looks like Ancelotti is not a fan of the young players. So
The way my house, Arda Güler fans are angry at Ancelotti. It's like, why is he not playing the guy?
Exactly.
He's
Very, yes,
he's very popular. Yes, he's very popular among that generation.
Yeah, because
he's a young player. He's very good.
He's 18. Yeah.
They like the Arda Güler. They like the Barca.
Lamine Yamal.
Yes, so the kids like the younger players because they see themselves in them, and they want him to be given a chance. They say, this coach doesn't want to give him a chance.
But it is fair because you know you spend a lot of money on this young player. You expect him to come in and make an
so
impact.
Angry.
And the coach,
when the Arsenal game was going on, my sons were like, but why is Arda Güler not coming on? Why is he on the bench?
I don't think that made a difference in that game, to be fair. But
Charlie,
some of the other games, you would have had a chance.
Yeah.
So I'll just give a little bit.
Winning.
What? Oh, they are in a good position.
They'll win the league.
Considering that they've played 2 Clásicos, I believe, so far, and they've won both convincingly, mind you. I think the 3rd Clásico in the Copa del Rey final, and there's a 4th one in the league. I believe Barca will win all 4.
Yeah,
this
Barca
season.
will win the league.
Unless
Most likely will win the Champions League.
that one is a bit more up in there. It's a bit more.
You want us to win the Champions League?
Right. I think they deserve it. They should work towards it.
Oh, there's nothing like deserving.
No,
football,
but everybody, you only deserve what you get.
Exactly.
So you better win it, man.
So a little bit of tech news for us. South Korea claims that DeepSeek is transferring user data and prompts without consent.
Oh, Lord.
So this goes back to what happened when DeepSeek was first launched, when certain countries banned
Why
their
are people
government
so
officials.
angry with DeepSeek? Is it because it's out competing them?
Well, you know, it's part of the whole larger geopolitical issues with China and that kind
Every
of
week
stuff.
they are coming up with something about DeepSeek, or then they say TikTok.
You know, all the pro-Western economists
are unhappy with what
China is doing. And now, of course, I mean, if you study, international trade law, admittedly, there are instances where the Chinese will hive off, your data in some cases without your consent.
But don't the other boys
and then also they still...
Don't the other boys do it?
Of course, they also
so why is it every time?
Sky, they're stealing the data. Everyone does it. If you remember we did a story about a gambling company that was being sued in the UK because the guy said that he went on Facebook, right? He's a gambling addict. And because they had, sold his data, they had a way of basically Facebook would funnel his data so that to the gambling company, so they knew when to target him and that kind of stuff, and all sorts of things. So I think these
indeed,
data thing,
I actually the EU has fined again. I think there's a story in the graphic to that effect today that they fined 2 of the biggest companies for breaching European digital laws. I will just give you that story as part of what you're reading. I'm just finding it for you. So it's every week that kind of thing is happening.
But when are we finding some people in Ghana?
Scott, you need to start parliamentary advocacy on digital governance. I think you owe it to us to do it because I don't see any MP raising issues with these things. Access of our kids to social media, nothing.
I've seen some work from Haruna Idrisu in the past, and then
you need to really do a paper on that because for me, it's one of the ticking time bombs. All right, so I was looking for the story for you, but if I find it, I'll add it later on.
Yeah, but we see it all the time that these people are being investigated, they are being fined, market manipulation, all sorts of. I mean, these tech companies are not. They are not moral actors, but when they come, because China is is taking some food from their mouth, then they remember that there's rules and that kind of stuff. So personally, it's difficult for me to find sympathy for their positions. That's my thing.
No, but I think you can trust the Europeans to some extent.
No, the EU.
Exactly.
I'm talking about
in fact, if you look at
I'm talking about the tech companies who come and complain. The EU is
so here's
EU has standards.
EU Commission fines Apple and Meta over digital law breaches. Daily Graphic today, Brussels. The European Commission yesterday found tech giants Apple and Meta in breach of obligations under the EU's Digital Markets Act, fining the two US companies 500 million euros and 200 million euros respectively. Apple was found to have breached the anti-steering obligation under the DMA, while Meta was considered not to have given consumers the choice of a service that uses less of their data, another stipulation of the DMA. The question is, our commissions, do they even have the knowledge to do these kinds of things? You know, so I think the EU is doing very well when it comes to these companies. It doesn't allow.
But you know, the Americans hate it, and they feel like the EU is spoiling their business because the EU is fining them for some of these.
Yeah, but there has to be an ethical way of doing business, and I think I agree with the EU on this. If you leave American companies, they'll do anything.
Should there be global regulation, or we should segment?
I agree that the latter. I think every situation is different. So I think if you are going to push for a regional, continental approach to regulation, we'll talk about that later. Thank you, Fusu. That was Tech and Social Media Trends.
Auntie T, I beg, fix me go betete Ghana. No gari, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, bruh, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, we the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, if you get your own data and call packages, falla! Made For Me bundles like the way you want them. That *530# then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
You're looking for a bank to rely on? Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Who do we seek out to bank baby? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe, universal banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office are chilling, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank will treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Football's magic never fades, even from the couch. The sound of halftime banter. Replays at the touch of a button. Sharing with my chosen crew. Pure game magic. It's like I'm there, but with a better view from the comfort of my home. Priceless. From the March 3rd to April 30th, pay with your MasterCard, online or in-store, and stand a chance to win a unique priceless viewing experience of the UEFA Champions League final for you and your friends. MasterCard, proud supporter of non-stop fans. T&Cs apply.
This April, 97.3 City FM invites you to join us for a powerful journey of faith, reflection, and connection in our seasons of prayer. As we step into this season of renewal, we bring you a month-long special encounter that will uplift your spirit and strengthen your soul. Whether you're seeking peace, guidance, or simply a deeper connection in faith, this is the perfect opportunity to come together in prayer and find inspiration in the midst of daily life issues. It's time to reflect, refuel, and reconnect. So, mark your calendars, gather your loved ones, and be part of something truly reviving. Seasons of Prayer is on 97.3 Citi FM this April. Stay tuned and let's pray together for brighter days ahead. It's from the 1st to the 30th of April 2025. Tune in to Midnight Cry from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. This is your day from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. and Prayer Encounter from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Call 0244-981112 for more information. Let the power of prayer guide you this season. Seasons of Prayer is powered by 97.3 Citi FM.
The books are in and the boots are out, guys. The kids have entered the building. The future of African football is happening right here in Legon Stadium, Ghana. This is history in the making. We are seeing the Nesta Pele, DJ Drogba, or Samuel Jan right here on the pitch.
Ghana, let's play now. Come support our future stars at the CAF African Schools Football Championship from April 21 to 26. CAF African Schools Football Championship. Engage, encourage, educate.
At Phoenix Insurance, we make the unpredictable predictable and the uncertain certain with our range of products, including motor insurance, fire insurance, engineering insurance, marine insurance, accident insurances, and all types of bonds. We have you covered. We also support you with risk management advice to enable you stay focused on your business. Take a policy with Phoenix Insurance today. We help you rise from adversity stronger and more secure. Contact us on 0302-246319 or 0302-246644. Phoenix Insurance, a delightful service experience delivered with wisdom.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
How many roads we had to walk just to make it to the door, only to be told we were too late. How many picket lines we crossed just to get back off the floor, then we fall back in the same old game. But it made me realize to see the line and train, the shadows of the hand that always pull the strings for those who understand. The beginning, see the end. Guess who is rising again? Me again, knocking on your door till all your walls come tumbling down. Me again, like Jericho before, Babylon walls come tumbling down, 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 down. Whoa, stumbling down. Election promises have failed. Those who spoke up have been jailed. Yet we go about pretend we don't see. As I walk through shanty towns, gutters choked with broken dreams. Yeah, they trickle down, don't come so far.
24 minutes past the hour of 8. Are you ready to drive innovation and take the next step in your career? Apply for an Ashesi University Master's Degree Program, which combines world-class education with African relevance. Regardless of your career aspirations, an Ashesi Master's Program equips you with the skills, ethics, and network to lead boldly. Applications are open for the 2025 cohort. Learn more at ashesi.edu.gh. Are you looking for a delicious snack for both kids and adults? Try Bell Move flavored milk. Comes in chocolate and strawberry flavors, perfect for any time of the day for your lunch boxes, after school snacks, or quick pick-me-ups. For bulk distribution, call 0544-335-900. That's 0544-335-900. Belmu is maliciously delicious, another quality product from Belacqua. Transform your living room and bedroom into a sanctuary with our stunning selection of sofas, couches, dressers, dining sets, center tables, and wide range of beds and mattresses at Foam. This season, save and shop up to 30% discount and discover this perfect blend of style, comfort, and affordability at Ash Foam's exclusive furniture promotion. Take advantage of our mega discount promo of up to 30% on selected products Call 0243 200 729 or visit any of our showrooms. We are in all the big malls. We are at Medina, Taxi Rank, Agbogba, Vineyard, Tema, Casino, and all Ashform shops across the country. Be an Ashformer now. Don't just watch, feel every moment of passion like a true football fan. From conducting every pass, analyzing every play, and celebrating every goal like it's your own. That's passion, felt, lived, and shared. Look out for the MasterCard booth at the Accra Mall Decathlon store on weekends starting 28th March to 30th April for a chance to win branded MasterCard memorabilia and engage with your favorite stars. It promises to be truly priceless. MasterCard, proud supporters of non-stop fans. And we all want a little bit more, and this is exactly what Absa's Ultimate Account offers. It's not just a banking product. With the Absa Ultimate Account, it's a chance to have more. Gives you the retrenchment insurance cover of up to 50,000 cedis, hospital cashback benefits, access to seamless digital solutions, travel insurance of a million cedis, and over 30 other benefits on the account. Want more? Of course you do. Sign up for the Ultimate Account with Absa. Your story matters, Absa. And we're thrilled to announce admissions at the University of Ghana School of Law for the exciting Masters program. Classes hold between Mondays and Fridays, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Application deadline 31st May. By joining our program, you have the opportunity to benefit from our international partnerships with top-tier law schools, including Ivy League institutions like Harvard, Columbia, and University of Pennsylvania. For more information, call Naomi on 053 133 0302 or 053 128 2413. All right, so here are some reactions to the Tamale Teaching Hospital controversy.
Okay, so good morning, team. We have failed to take responsibility. Also because there are no consequences for our actions. With or without cameras, duty bearers must demand for accountability. Thank you. Bernard, I agree 100% with Godfred. The intention translated into the approach, and it was totally wrong. The minister didn't appear to gather information to help solve the problem at the hospital. He was rather advising the staff solely based on what he heard from family members. The minister was saying they didn't counsel the family members, but the doctor explained they did, and it's even part of protocol. The style of questioning and public nature all appeared they were there to accuse the staff of wrongdoing. Watch the videos again, Bernard. Good morning, team.
Morning.
The public health sector is very technical. The minister's posture and some of his utterances show that he does not understand some of the technicalities of the sector. He has technical advisors. If he had consulted them, I am not sure this would have been the outcome. He should let them guide him. And Mr. Avle, you are being very unfair in your analysis. Talk to your daddy medics and get a clearer picture. This is from Kwame.
I have my own experience.
Yes, okay.
And I'm coming from my own perspective, which is why Godfred also has his different views.
Yeah.
So I can't always agree with you.
Jonathan from Gawe says, a point of correction, please. Teaching hospitals report to the Minister of Health through the teaching hospital boards. They are not under the Ghana Health Service to be supervised by the Regional Director of Health Service or be briefed by the Regional Director of Health Service, a purely Ghana Health Service administrative structure. The distinction between teaching hospitals and the Ghana Health Service is clear. But honestly, I think the minister could have done better. I sincerely think the plan was rife to remove the CEO. So whatever he did was to implement the plan. Bernard and team, Godfrey's argument is flawed because this is not the first time the minister has visited a hospital unannounced. Is Godfrey saying that cameras should be prevented in those scenarios? Watch the videos and you will see that the minister was listening to the doctor attentively until things broke down. Good morning, CBS.
Morning.
The minister mentioned faulty life-saving equipment that hadn't worked for 5 years. The CEOs are doing nothing about it because most times they have the same equipment in their private hospitals that they refer patients to. This is an open secret to all. With the rich issue, the one who is to fix the problem is a friend. I don't want to say things, Charlie. Let's give management of hospitals to professional administrators to manage. Let medical doctors focus on their jobs. That's all. Jimmy Jack from Dansoman. Jimmy Jack, good morning. Courage from Kofodia says there's nothing wrong with the minister going around with the camera. If you were doing the right thing, you'd not be bothered. The whole situation is just another chapter in the book of political disappointment. More chaos, less progress. A CEO is replaced within 24 hours, yet the core issues remain untouched. They claim the previous CEO failed to address key problems. So why wasn't the focus on actually fixing those issues the very next day? Where's the urgency for real change? If we are serious about change, then it has to go beyond reshuffling leadership. There needs to be a consistent demand for action, transparency, and follow-through Otherwise, we'll just keep circling back to square one. Arrested development in sequel. Copy from Adenta. Strategy in opposition should be different from strategy when you are the leader to bring the change. Why is Godfred simplifying the motive of the minister's visit to generating public outrage? Really, Godfred, will this be the first time we see a public officer doing a public unannounced visit? Did you see President Mills's outrage at the customs office? Yao from Sun City. But at the team, the minister's action was wrong. How can a hospital that is supposed to cater for the whole northern region have only, for the whole northern Ghana, have only 4 intensive care unit beds? So if a patient comes in and the beds are occupied by other patients, what do you expect a doctor who has no role in management and policy to do? The politicians should work on the hospital infrastructure before they demand accountability from clinicians. How do you expect healthcare workers to work under these terrible conditions? Abdul is asking. Akwesi says, in all this, let's ask ourselves, when was the last time Ghanaian doctors went on strike because of conditions of service? We don't remember because they are all leaving the country. Ben, good morning. I am Nanaya from Tuba, and I completely disagree with you. In the video regarding the hospital, the minister was performing theatrics. The doctor explained and made him know what the problems are. He clearly stated that the A&E does not have a ventilator, and that was why the patient died. The minister just wanted to shift blame to the doctor and called it negligence. The doctor kept reiterating that it wasn't negligence, but a lack of facilities, and that is where the minister got angry, which was out of proportion. No mortality audit was done. No mortality audit is done that way. Neither is it done in front of cameras. The theatrics and settings backfired. Get them facilities and they'll work. We are tired of influencer governance. Good morning, Citi CBS team. I see our ministers and mayors are adopting a Donald Trump attitude. They seem to want to disgrace civil servants in public to boost their popularity. I think they must be more civil. You cannot have an audit in public to solve some of these issues. Hi, Bernard and team. TTH is an agency operating directly under the Ministry of Health. Yes, that correction has been made in terms of its reporting lines. Bernard, the hospital is going on strike because of the minister's action? So the hospital will not go on strike when people are dying due to lack of facilities? Godfred has his views, but I can tell you, people in my office are not happy with him asking some of the questions he's asking. It's so unbelievable. Davis from Community 25. Well, Davis, somebody has to do the job. Senanu from Dodo says, good morning, guys. The decent conversation and the scene created can be done in hiding, and then the minister can act with his power to expose wrongdoing, and results will come. How we will win, this is how we will win, and duty bearers will sit up in the future. This one says, good morning, Bennett. Let me read the last one so that the others can come in. Please, I disagree with Godfred Akoto-Wafo. One, nobody needs cameras to capture events because nowadays people have phones everywhere and they're able to capture the most clandestine meetings. If there are people on the field who report to the main boss, does it mean that the main boss never goes out of his office to the field? The whole incident could have been captured by only voice. Would it have made any difference? The only problem is that the minister and his entourage went a bit far and went a bit overboard and were excessive. However, the other negatives with the happenings at the hospital far outweigh the minister's excesses. Now,
I wanted Susu to read for me the Ghana Medical Association's release in relation to this, because it outlines their demands in its
the Tamale.
Sorry, Doctors Association of Tamale Teaching Hospital, DATTH. It's just a 2.5 page release. So if you can, or somebody should read it for me.
Sure, I'll get that.
Yeah.
So following our press release earlier today, the Doctors Association of the Tamale Teaching Hospital held an emergency General Assembly meeting today at 12 noon. The outcome of the meetings is as below. That with immediate effect, all members of the DATTH have proceeded on an indefinite suspension of all emergency and outpatient services. So in brackets, general OPD, antenatal clinic, specialist clinic, and pediatrics. Inpatient care shall continue for all our clients currently on admission until they are safely discharged from the hospital. So then now they list a list of demands which I will go through. So first is an unqualified apology from the Minister of Health and the Honorable MP for Tamale North to Dr. Valentine Akulpa. Yes, and all the doctors of the Tamale Teaching Hospital and of the Accident and Emergency Services Department. So they said they will resume the provision of emergency and outpatient services after receive the appropriate apologies. So that's number 2. So number 3, The management of the hospital should ensure the following are available in the short term for us to work effectively: constant flow of water through the taps for clinical work, stable electricity, constant supply of oxygen, provision of consumable items as gloves, gauze, cotton, face masks, cannulae, sutures, syringes, disinfectants,
Glucometer strips,
plaster, etc. Constant supply of reagents to ensure continuous availability of essential laboratory tests, 100 continuous vital signs monitoring devices, 4 ventilators for the accident and emergency department, 4 ventilators for the intensive care unit, 2 ventilators for the pediatrics emergency ward, 2 ventilators for the neonatal, 2 ventilators for maternal intensive care unit, 2 transport ventilators, 2 transport incubators for the gynecology department, service and repair of the 1,000-liter autoclave machines at the CSSD. They said in the medium term, an MRI scan machine that does not use helium, a CT scan machine that has an infusion pump, a mammography machine, a fluoroscope machine, a CR machine at the main theater. ABG machines are all intensive care units, 2 mobile X-ray machines. DATTH will continue to engage, so that's the demands done. DATTH will continue to engage management to ensure the aforementioned points in 3 and 4 are available for healthcare delivery. We shall advise ourselves if there is failure to achieve the above within the shortest possible time. That should any of our point 6, that should any of our members feel threatened at any point in the provision of services, they shall immediately remove themselves from such hostile environments for their own safety. Number 7, that all media houses shall release false and biased reportage of the incidents at TTH accident and emergency during the health minister's visits should render apologies to DATTH on their platforms. DATTH shall not engage these media houses until it's done. So it was signed by DATTH and CC, Minister of Health, Northern Regional Minister, President of the GMA, Chairman of the GMA Northern Division, CEO TTH, all directors TTH, sister branches of labor unions in TTH, and all media houses.
So if we get the full scope now of their demands, apology, a lot of things they need, and also certain long-term things that they want. So I think you were making a point about the two sides all fighting for the consumers, at least in terms of here. This release shows us the level of need of the hospital in terms of what is required.
Would this be the first time their needs, the state of their needs, is being communicated to the authorities?
Probably this is the first time it's come out in this way for us.
It couldn't possibly be.
No, it's not.
No, I'm sure they know.
At their last performance review, it was highlighted.
So it's gotten to the point of frustration. Okay. I just don't think their last point was so necessary. About
false reportage and that kind of thing.
Media houses who reported and won't talk to you again. That's not the way to deal with media. You know, just even if that's what you want to do, you don't write it. You know,
those who reported should apologize to them.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't deal with the media, who told you that the media will lose? They will pick the story from another media house and use it.
You are the one who will lose.
Yeah, so that one, please, just go easy on that. And let's make sure that the resources required to make health delivery within that socialist space is a very, very expensive thing. You know, you want everybody to get proper health service. It's a very expensive enterprise the world over. So let's not take this for granted. And look, the essence of the minister's visit, I don't disagree. It's his approach that could have been better. That's my personal opinion. Okay. Because he's showing a certain degree of empathy in dealing with the issues, and then he thinks that I should approach it from preventing people from doing wrong, which is one way of doing it. But providing the resources is very key, because look, if you don't provide the resources, the situation will just get worse. It's only a matter of time. And it's not just that, the association is speaking on behalf of the community. In Accra, if you go to the hospital, say go to Kolebu, you're looking for MRI, and there's no MRI, the next thing you do is to look for a private, you don't find the alternatives in a lot of these places. And so they are compelled to consume what the teaching hospital has to offer. So it's a critical need that the government must put on their speed dial to make sure that. But I just say that it's still not the easiest thing. Look, Bernard, do you know that in the United Kingdom, today as we speak, if you get a referral appointment to the equivalent of the tertiary hospital, the shortest duration that you have to wait is 18 weeks.
Wow.
18
for whatever
weeks.
Condition?
Yes. The only condition, maybe there may be others that I don't know, but the only condition, significant condition, that one you even have to wait for 2 weeks is cancer.
Wow. 18 weeks for a referral to a tertiary facility.
18 weeks. So I'm just saying that it's not, we shouldn't joke with it. It's a major issue. You see, so if we are going, we should make sure that the tertiary hospital is in a good place. We should create the enabling environment for doctors to set up private clinics because they all complement government's effort.
Hold on small. You see, the last thing you said, we have to look at it well because you see, I agree that the private facilities play a role, but sometimes there's also, I consider it a moral hazard that we believe that we can benefit from the chaos in the public health system. You get it? So it may be in certain people's interest to keep the public health facility so poor so that they create demand for their private facility.
That's wrongdoing.
So I just wanted to caution that I agree that private facilities are useful. They are very good. They are helping. But in some instances, they use the dragging of feet. We don't have this. We are not ready to force you to use their private facility, which I think we should look at. That does not absolve government from providing what it has to provide. Okay, so the thing is in, I think, 3 parts. The government has to provide, and on that point, he's right. Going there with cameras doesn't solve the problem in the long term. The long term is the list they've provided, have you supplied the things? That one is clear.
Today.
I even think a better strategy could have been going there with some of the things to even say, look, we have not come empty-handed. So even though we are coming to do inquiry, here are 3 or 4 equipment that can help in
Tons
the
of
meantime.
oxygen.
Then we can move the discussion forward. But I want to point out that there is a whole system around deliberate running down of public institutions so that people are forced to resort to private institutions. And I think the minister needs to probe that too. Of course, he needs to supply the equipment the public facilities need before he moves to that next stage. If the guy doesn't have the reagent, he doesn't have the syringe, you can't even start probing anything. You got it? And there has to be and there was a very interesting point Sapawasi Edu made. The
CDD.
He's saying that in Ghana, public policy towards health may be misguided. Why? We all talk about Agenda 111. Let's build new hospitals. Of course, let's build new hospitals. But he says only 5% of the outpatient diagnosis is done. Let me read the story so that I don't confuse it. He says only 5% of consultation rooms can diagnose patients, yet we build hospitals. Let me read that. It's a very serious claim he made. And he researches, he says only 5% of the country's consultation rooms have the necessary tools to properly diagnose patients, yet governments keep building hospitals without addressing the real problems. He says we should stop the political dishonesty. He pointed out to a powerful and damning document called the Holistic Assessment of Health Programs of Work, part of a broader health harmonization assessment report endorsed by Ghana's Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, the Global Fund, and the World Organization. It's not me saying it. He said it is in the report that was commissioned by the government of Ghana, the Ministry of Health, and the Ghana Health Service, and these groups. So it's an internationally accepted report that is done for all countries that are members of the WHO. It says the report states clearly that, guys, listen, only 5% of Ghana's consultation rooms are equipped well enough to make proper diagnosis. Yet, despite this, successive governments ignore the data and spend millions building hospitals that remain hollow shells of functionality. We jettisoned that report and went into building hospitals. He said, shaking his head, this is what I say, that as health professionals, this is what we should be telling the policymakers and the ultimate spenders, which is the case at the health ministry. If you make these decisions which are at variance with what the health assessment report says, then we would walk away. It's as simple as that. I mean, guys, think about that. If the consulting room doesn't have the equipment to do proper diagnosis, and yet you are building a hospital facility, that we are building hospitals because it's easy to show it politically, it's a problem. Because if this report is to be believed, then it's a major issue.
No, I mean, there's a spectrum, a range, okay, when you are talking about diagnosis, okay. At the extreme end of it, you have diagnosis that require technical, some complex technical resources to achieve that. And there are the basic ones, okay. And so I although he makes a point, I don't take the full point that until we are able to diagnose maybe 50%, we shouldn't build more. Okay. Now what he's also missing out is that 5% achievement can be can account for about 70% of our common ailments. I don't know if it can account for, because what are the ailments? Dysentery, malaria, flu, and all these things. And if you put all together, they may account for between 60 and 70%.
But the reason I feel like I think his point is that the priority of the health professional should be tailored towards telling government to spend more on the facilities.
I do agree.
Not on the
I'm
building.
Saying that
not on the
you
building.
You can't dismiss building more hospitals because we don't have an over concentration of hospitals.
No, I get you. But it's not either or. Sometimes if you have 1 million cedis to spend between building 2 hospitals and equipping an existing hospital, you may have to find a way of optimizing.
That's correct.
Okay. So, but I cannot agree with him, because if you put up the structure and the structure is only 5% effective, as against having a structure that's already existing that you can equip to be more effective. Do you get it? Maybe this is what Akando's policy should be. He should read a report and decide what the priority of this government will be. I'm just saying that politically, it's easy to show I've put up a building, but whilst the building does that solve the problem? Because what we want is proper health outcomes. But if we leave things to political people alone, where they want funds, as Godfrey said, they will put up the hospital for you, eat the hospital. But if the doctor is not in the hospital, if there's no equipment in the hospital, what have you achieved?
So you see, the hospital is not a building. Everything must come together to make it a hospital. You remember we went to Toko? Is Toko we went to build it? Or is it? Yeah, it's Toko we built the.
No, no, a Black Horse place.
Yeah, what's the name of it?
So this is no, it's Mepe. Mepe.
We went to build the structure. Right?
Yes.
At that point, it was not a hospital.
Yes.
We had built a structure which would have to be fed with equipment and human beings.
Yes.
To become what would serve as a hospital. You understand?
And now, yes, go on.
The point I'm trying to make is that the Labor Act, for instance, imposes an obligation on employers and what employees too are supposed to do. What it means is that if you are engaging the person as a medical doctor, as a nurse, and the state owns that hospital, and you have committed to say that, if this medical condition will cost, say, 20,000 Ghana cedis, the state will pay, say, 70% of that. It is the people, the patients who go there, who have to take up the rest of the 30%. Which means that if it costs me, say, 100 Ghana cedis to take an X-ray, right, at, say, 37 Military Hospital, what it means is that ordinarily, I should have paid more for that.
Okay.
But the state is somehow taking up the rest of the
subsidizing
cost.
The cost
subsidizing
of
it.
Treatment.
So that over time, if the state is not paying its part, while the patient may be going there continuously and paying what he has to pay because that's what they are charging there, ultimately the machine will run down and there will not be any way of fixing it. That is one side of the problem. So what does the government do? The government will have to take steps to ensure that we are paying our part. How many times have we not heard in this country that the National Health Insurance Scheme is not able to pay people, hospitals, what they are due because of the challenges there? But there is also the other side to it. Circumstances that arise where, for instance, health professionals themselves become a part of the problem. Where in some hospitals, equipment bought by the state get either deliberately broken and then shipped out of that hospital. Before you know it, it is in a different hospital, a private hospital, they are using it.
Thank you.
There are reports of these things in many parts of the country. So that the state provides in some cases, and the people there, some of them, are taking advantage of the situation. So if you look at it, the two sides are at equal fault. The government in some cases doesn't provide what it has to provide, and in some cases, some of our health professionals become the problem. Now, the minister should understand that it is no longer the case that you are in a position. Yes, you may have used a certain strategy that worked in opposition. Put the spotlight on what's happening in the hospitals, paint the situation as realistic as possible to the Ghanaian people. And on the basis of that, put the government on pressure, under pressure, so that they will do something about it. If the people are not happy, they vote out the government. Now, you are in charge of the space. First of all, you have a duty and responsibility to preserve the peace of the space so that the people of Ghana can get access to healthcare. And it has to be quality and affordable. Now, you went there with cameras. The situation just didn't degenerate like that. It started at a certain point. I think he should have noticed that this thing was getting to a certain point. And he should have contained it at that point. That was not that.
That is if his motive was pure. Because according to him, he probably knew this was going to happen that way. According to this man.
You see, so Bernard, if you had heard that someone died, and the person died under questionable circumstances, if you read the what do you call it? The Ghana Health Service Code of Conduct and Disciplinary Procedures. There are processes laid out
that you must go through
for dealing with cases like that. If there is indiscipline, negligence, and all of that, there is a committee that has got to be set up to deal with it. This is a sensitive matter. Somebody is dead, and condolences to the family. We feel their loss. You set up a committee. The committee will look into the matter. The sides to the issue will be called to make their presentations, and then doctors would review the situation and come. The experts would review the situation and come to a conclusion. Now, a reasonable doctor, competent in his space, would he have taken the steps that he took in the circumstances leading to the death of this person? If there is culpability, there's a way to address it. Now, where you go to the space, and it will seem that you are trying to do that audit publicly, it creates problems because the doctors were now on the defensive. Because the impression was being created that you are the people who have led to this outcome. You were not sensitive, you didn't do the right things, and the person is dead. How did you come to that conclusion? That is the impression they appear to have gleaned from what the minister did. But then also, I think the hospitals too, they also have to understand that, look, you are dealing with human lives. In some cases, when emergency situations arrive, doctors are left with, we don't have the right tools to deal with the situation immediately. But what can we do? Sometimes they try. Sometimes they just don't have the tools to deal with the problem. Sometimes you see them, you think that, they are just standing there not doing anything. The person is that if you don't have the syringes to pump the person with some medication or some what do you call it? Whatever. The person will die. But what we see is that often we say, the doctors, we went there, we saw them, they were just chatting. They didn't. Of course, that happens in some cases. So the way to establish whether the person acted professionally or not is to use the due processes. Investigate, establish that this thing was done right or done wrong, and then take concrete action. I must also say, though, that I think the doctors too ought to have de-escalated the situation. You notice that the minister was moving towards a certain direction, maybe because of what he heard. So he came there with some mindset that, look,
you cool him down.
So you say, Mr. Minister, that's not exactly the case. Can we go away from the camera?
Can we go into caucus?
Conclave with the situation. So that it wouldn't be as though you are trying to bruise the ego of the minister. Because you see, the people behind the minister, you would have heard some you see, that kind of situation quickly escalates the situation, and we are all
I want us to hear what the Dr. Atiku, who is the I want us to hear Dr. Richard Selome, who is the General Secretary of Ghana Medical Association, what he's been saying to Eyewitness News on this. So this is the General Secretary of GMA speaking on the matter yesterday.
Indeed, Ghana Medical Association has taken notice of happenings at the teaching hospital. Regarding the CEO and his dismissal, we as an association note that yes, the government of the day has the power to hire and fire, appoint and dismiss anyone. But we believe that there are due processes that need to be followed, especially when this is being done on the back of allegations of negligence. Negligence is not just merely a word to be put about. Negligence is a legal term that has clear criteria that need to be fulfilled. And the fact that this case has yet to be fully investigated and the so-called negligence well established, we believe that this is not a fair way to go. Of course, if you investigate, go through the processes, and there is a clarity on whether there's negligence or not, and the CEO is being found culpable, among other things, it could be other issues anyway. We believe that that is a fair process, and that then allows probably the person to be heard. We do not dispute maybe the minister's desire to see the system improve, but we believe that the tangent that is taken in terms of how this issue is being carried about may not lead to the desired outcomes. You may sack the CEO, but as it is said in healthcare quality improvement, the systems are designed to produce the results you see. And so you may sack one or two people, it may lead to momentary results, and the public may rejoice over that. But once the underlying and core issues are not addressed, you can bring so many people in. And we've noticed even in Tamale Teaching Hospital, many CEOs have come and go, and the problems still persist. So we believe that maybe a better approach could have been used in this matter. Yes.
Doc, your statement is calling for an unqualified apology from the Minister of Health and then the MP for Tamale North. Exactly how do you want this to be done? Do you want the dismissed CEO to be reinstated?
There were multiple events that occurred in the hospital. And if you watch the various versions of the videos, listen to the longer version of the audio, you would notice that one very young, dedicated senior specialist consultant at that facility, one who actually, if you even watch the video, one of the nurses vouches, uses his own personal resources to purchase water, drugs, and other things for patients in the unit in an attempt to respond and explain the situation, which honestly, in our opinion, should not have been conducted in the media space, because you don't conduct clinical audits or audits of patients' deaths in the media space, because it can easily be misconstrued and exposes the staff to various personal and psychological risks. And the facility itself could be laden with suits for issues that may not actually even be correlated. And so we felt that how he was treated, shouted at, essentially belittled in public, is not at all the way to go. Health workforce constitute a major force in any policy implementation, in any change management that we want to see in the health sector. And many of our health workers are working under trying conditions, breaking their backs, overworking in many circumstances. Indeed, yes, the minister acknowledged this at the end of his interview and talks about that, yes, they should still do their best. In the particular instance where a person needs to be on the ventilator, the best that he's asking to be done is for the person to be on a ventilator. And if there is no ventilator available, it's not the job of that doctor to purchase that thing. And we believe this has been a persistent issue. And if the MP, who is the MP for the area, is so interested, should be looking at how to equip this place properly and resource them, and not public shaming the doctor and other staff that were involved. Indeed, we believe, and we are not here as an association to shield anyone who does the wrong thing. We believe there are due processes that should be followed. He could have been called to an in-camera session, reprimanded where it is found that they had done any wrong, and the matter properly addressed. As we speak, the doctor, who is a senior specialist, teaches medical students and does many other duties in the hospital. His life is under threat. People have sent various threatening messages to him. He's been cyber-bullied on various things. For what exactly? And on not an established position that there's been any particular negligence. And so we must be very careful. And that is why we think that how he was treated, he's been asked a question to address it. We can allow that to go through. And that conversation should, in the first place, not be in the media space. But once it is there, at least we can interact in a very cordial and respectful manner and still institute the change that we want to see. And that is why we are not very happy. And we think that they deserve an apology. And then the issues that need to be addressed, we are willing to sit down. Okay. DMA has actually instituted measures to even attract people, support our colleagues to go to places where there are no doctors and other things. And we are willing to partner and support Minister and the government to achieve these aims, but not in this particular manner.
2 minutes past 9. So that was Dr. Richard Selome of the GMA. Now let's hear the MP for Tamale North, who was with the Minister for Health. Of course, Suhuyini is also the Deputy Minister for Roads, but this was his visit as an MP because the hospital happens to be in his constituency. So here is Alassane Suhuyini's view. So by the way, the interview aired was conducted by Hawa Idrisu, and it was aired on Citi Prime News in the afternoon. But this interview with Suhuyini was in the evening on Eyewitness News.
I think that it is important that I make a little clarification. The hospital is not in my constituency. It is, however, in Tamale, and Tamale is a cosmopolitan area now, and all the 4 MPs in Tamale are now in the constituency. I mean, in the whole metropolis. And the Tamale Teaching Hospital also happens to be a referral hospital that takes care of the about 5 northern regions of Ghana. So we all have an interest in how the hospital facility is being managed. And that is why perhaps I was lucky to be invited by the Minister of Health, because I was in town when he was paying a surprise visit to the hospital to assess for himself the conditions that the hospital is in now. Selom, just to take you a little back, about a couple of days ago, a gentleman passed at the hospital, leading to social media campaigns by people in the community asking for the government to fix the hospital, because the death of the gentleman is not an isolated incident, and people have complained about various challenges with the facility. And I think that is what prompted the minister to pay the surprise visit to the hospital. But the dismissal of the CEO, my understanding is that it had nothing directly related to the death of this gentleman, because after the interaction with health professionals at the hospital yesterday, the minister had a management meeting with the hospital staff, and then later announced a 3-member committee that is supposed to go into the cause of the death of 31-year-old Salim. And so not until the 3-member committee submits its report, I don't think that any action taken from now on until that happens is related to the death. But it is just part of government's agenda to reset that hospital and to respond to the calls of the people to fix the TTH, the Tamale Teaching Hospital, to become, the facility that it is expected to be, to save lives and to improve healthcare of the people. I have followed media reports, and they seem to be confusing what happened with the minister's surprise visit and the dismissal of the CEO of the hospital. I think the two are not, directly related. The minister, I do know, have been in consultation with His Excellency the President, in consultation with opinion leaders and stakeholders in the region, and have been, discussing ways to improve the facility. And one of the ways, in his view, especially after his visit yesterday, where he saw some level of deterioration that he queried the management over, decided that the retooling of the facility may have to start with the removal of the CEO and the subsequent formation of a board for the hospital, and probably some more shakeups at the hospital. I also realized that he took notice of some of the challenges that the health professionals face, especially when it comes to lack of the equipment that they need to do their work. And as far as I'm aware, the whole of today, the minister has been working to ensure that some ventilators are procured and, sent to the teaching hospital, because it came up strongly during interaction with the health professionals that at the emergency unit, especially at the red zone, they do not have enough ventilators. So I also know that after the management meeting, he spoke with his colleague Minister for Energy. He also reached out to his colleague Minister for Water Resources and Water Works and Water Resources, because the issue of reliable, water supply to the hospital came up strongly. The issue of dedicated power to the hospital also came up strongly. So these are some of the things that came up. But the dismissal of the CEO, once again, I want to reiterate, had nothing to do directly with the death of 31-year-old Salman. A 3-member committee has been set up to look into that matter. And the CEO of the hospital, again, is not the gentleman who was seen in the video having exchanges with the minister. The gentleman seen in the video having exchanges with the minister is, we are told, a very hard-working staff of the teaching hospital who makes a lot of sacrifices and is a dedicated worker of the hospital. But he was simply cautioned by myself and the minister not to suggest that the loss of the life of Salim was being blown out of proportion, because we thought that was insensitive.
I see. So the point you're making is that whether or not the minister had gone to the place yesterday, the chief executive was going to be relieved of his position.
I believe so, because I do know that extensive consultations have taken place long before the minister decided to pay the surprise visit to the hospital yesterday.
But you can't fault the persons you say on social media who are misrepresenting the facts because of the timing of the termination of the appointment. I mean, all of this happened, some confrontation between the minister and the doctor at the hospital. By evening time, then the chief executive officer is gone. So though you say that there were consultation or discussions on the appointment of a new chief executive, with the president already, the timing of the events actually made it appear like it happened because of the happenings of yesterday.
I agree with that misconception, and I do not intend to fault anybody. I only would encourage that that should be left with people who perhaps are not sophisticated, but those of us in the public space, in the media, in the policy space, in the medical space, who care about these things, should sometimes, go beyond the headlines and get the facts before we take certain stands and positions. I do appreciate that the circumstances can lead to misrepresentations and misreportage. But the facts remain that the gentleman seen in the video in the exchanges with myself and the minister has not, been taken to any disciplinary measure. He's not the CEO, and I do not think he'll be taken to any disciplinary measure. It was just advice strongly offered to him, which he strongly rejected, which we have no problem with. The CEO would have been, I'm sure, dismissed with or without the surprise visit of the Minister of Health, because I know about the consultations that took place before his visit. I think that his visit only afforded him the opportunity to, come to the conclusion that the decision had to be urgently taken. And he decided to do so because of the deterioration of the hospital. I mean, there are facilities at the hospital that have been broken down for the last 5 to 6 years without any attention given it. In fact, some of the equipments were locked up in hospitals. It took minutes, sometimes hours, for them to even find a key to those rooms to open for us to see. And all of that did not show, top-notch management of the facility. And I'm sure that is what just pushed the minister to urgently take the decision that he took yesterday. But it had nothing to do with the death of 31-year-old Salman. It had nothing to do with the altercation that happened at the hospital. And the altercation did not even include the CEO. The CEO was an observer of what happened. The CEO cautioned his staff, the Dr. Valentine, in this case, to stop talking and stop defending his position. He wouldn't budge. And the minister did same. I did same. He wouldn't budge. We walked away. We do not think that he did anything wrong. We just thought that he perhaps should have been more receptive of the suggestion that we were offering him, not to refer to the matter as being blown out of proportion.
So that was Alasan Esuhini, 12 minutes past 9. Let's read a few more messages as we wrap up. Now, I think the emphasis for us is the hospitals need to be equipped.
Yes.
And if there's any benefit in this controversy, it has been the fact that the hospital has been able to articulate what it needs in very clear terms, what Susu read. So we will have to ask the Ministry of Health what their plan is for equipping the hospital, because this is the largest referral facility in the northern sector. It caters for Upper East, Upper West, Savannah, Northern, and which other one? And the Savannah region. So clearly the needs are very real. A few suggestions have come through that I just wanted to read for progress of the discussion beyond the blame game. This is coming from a man who's been in the health sector for long. I don't know if I should mention him. He says, Bernard, here are my takeaways. One, the minister's decision to sack the CEO without due process was excessive. Now, it was the president who sacked the CEO, not the minister.
But the minister would have advised.
All right. So,
or
correct.
There would have been some
Number
discussion.
2, workers at Tamale teaching generally are alone to themselves. This is somebody in the medical profession. This is what he's saying. I'm not the one saying it. 3, lack of basic equipment is all over the public hospitals. 4, doctors need to be more accountable there in this particular instance. I personally know people who lost their lives there for very avoidable reasons. That's 5. 6, equipment at Tamale Teaching Hospital ran down, and there's a whole business by the actors there to provide same in the private sector.
It's all over.
But it's particularly, and let me use their own word, it's endemic there in that place. 6 or 7, there's a leadership crisis at many of the public hospitals today. Let me read the 6 conclusions. This is somebody who's in the health sector. Minister's decision was excessive in sacking the CEO. Workers at the hospital are alone to themselves. All public hospitals lack basic equipment. Doctors need to be more proactive in Tamale particularly. He knows people who lost their lives for avoidable reasons in Tamale. Equipment at Tamale ran down, and there's the whole business by the actors there to provide same in the private sector. There's a leadership crisis at many hospitals today, public hospitals. Let me read another one, another long one, but I think it helps the discussion. Good morning, Bernard. Concerning what Samen said about UK hospitals appointments here in Italy, waiting times for appointments varies depending on several factors, including the type of medical specialty, the urgency of the case, and the region in which the hospital is located. In general, non-urgent appointments might take anywhere from a few weeks to several months. For example, a routine specialist appointment could take between 30 to 90 days, while urgent cases are usually prioritized and you can be seen within days. And then there's a couple more. My take on reforms. 1, medical doctors should not be made medical or district directors. Qualified and well-experienced administrators should be employed for that purpose. 2, nurses who have practiced for 10 years and above should earn same salary as doctors who have practiced for 7 years and above. 3. Any medical doctor or health professional who refuses posting to areas where their services are needed should not be allowed to practice in any public facility. 4. Government should retool and tool all health facilities from the CHIPS compounds to the teaching hospitals with every equipment and machinery for efficient health delivery. 5. Nurses and doctors should benefit from car loans. 6. State housing companies should build duty post accommodation for nurses and doctors wherever there's a health facility. 7. No doctor should be permitted to manage a private hospital within the jurisdiction government has assigned him to. Can I repeat that one?
Yeah.
No doctor should be permitted to manage a private hospital within the jurisdiction government has assigned him or her to.
Yeah,
8. Government should have a pool of...
But that point we may gloss over it. They don't necessarily have to go and manage a private hospital. They can be agents, and which some of them are agents of private hospitals. They do referral to they can even, some of them outrageously can refer you to a dental hospital even when you are pregnant because contract. That's an extreme, but that's what I'm trying to say, that we see go to this hospital, we see go to this hospital because the relationship is there.
That's a problem.
And you see,
let me finish the 9.
Just to make a point. You see, the conflict of interest rules still apply. But the difficulty we have enforcing that is we don't have many doctors.
So
they are doing locum, and they have to now use that as a way, and they are abusing it. And it's an issue that we have to clearly.
So let me read point 7 again. No doctor should be permitted to manage a private hospital within the jurisdiction government has assigned him or her. 8. Government should have a pool of specialists who will be bonded never to go on strike, irrespective of who calls the strike. We can also have an MOU with the Cuban Medical Brigade to be on standby anytime the GMA declares a strike. The Cubans are flown in to fill the void. The number of days the doctors are on strike, their salaries, allowances are paid to teams who take over. 9. When the strike is called off, they get 3 months suspension with a bond of good behavior before taking back their roles. This is difficult to implement. You have to work within the labor laws. Your suggestions are controversial. Any loss of life must be investigated. And if this is a result of negligence, the doctor or nurse who was responsible should be suspended for a month. I want a comment on how you can have an independent investigation of the cause of death, because it's very...
Let me
deal with that before I finish the last 2.
Let me tell you about the guidelines, the regulations or the code of conduct and disciplinary procedures.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 2018 updated one. I'm not so sure if there's a new one which has been updated. Basically, it makes it clear that the purpose of the document is for the attainment of the object of the GAS and requires good leadership and corporate governance, as well as disciplined and dedicated employees. The conduct and attitudes of all employees of the service should conform to appropriate norms and standards of behavior which are contained in, and it lists the documents that are relevant. Now, if you go further in there, paragraph 1.3, the scope, it says the code of conduct or the code is applicable to the following personnel: all GHS employees. B, personnel on contract or secondment to the GHS. C, personnel of the GHS on leave of absence with or without pay. And D, any other persons working with the Ghana Health Service under approved terms.
All right.
Now, definition of discipline and indiscipline. Discipline in this context refers to orderly behavior of employees in the service and adherence to existing rules and regulations.
All right.
Any act of omission or commission contrary to the above definition constitutes indiscipline.
All right.
So it's been clearly laid out.
Okay.
Now, there are guiding principles as to what their mission is. So, for instance, the following guideline or guiding principles are core values, and they form the basis of this document: delivering quality health service in a humane and equitable manner within the resources of the country.
Okay.
Upholding the dignity and interests of patients or clients at all times. Upholding the dignity and welfare of all staff and service providers. It goes on to list some other things.
All right.
Now, if you go further into the document, then there are responsibilities imposed.
By on the hospital or the professional.
Yeah, that's right. Employees of the service shall A, be accountable to the Republic of Ghana, be accountable to the public, accountable to their immediate supervisors, conduct themselves at all times officially and privately in a manner not to bring the image of the service, what you were talking about, into disrepute, and to gain the respect of the service, colleagues, and members of the general public. Maintain political neutrality. And it goes on to list other things. And then where you get into misconduct, you get that in under what do you call a paragraph 4.1, where misconduct and definition is there, and what constitutes misconduct.
I'd have loved you to deal with public conflict of interest too when we come back on that. Let me take a short break. This is the City Breakfast Show. We're using the Tamale Teaching Hospital issue to discuss generally quality of healthcare provision. I understand there's a press conference going on, or what's happening at the Ghana Health.
So the ministry this morning.
The Ministry of Health.
Yes, this morning, as part of efforts to respond swiftly to the medical needs of the TTH, Tamale Teaching Hospital, following the recent unfortunate incident, will be donating essential medical equipment to the facility.
Correct.
So that's happening this morning at the Ministry of Health.
Very good. I think you suggested that's what they should have done. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with that discussion. We have lots more of your comments. Please keep them coming. It helps the discussion, particularly the suggestions about what to do going forward. Stay with us.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unbelievable is yours to own with DSTV. Get unbelievable local entertainment with Shakai Lemba, Nigerian Idol, and Big Brother Niger.
Unforgettable night.
Catch unbelievable sporting moments from the Premier League, La Liga, F1, and more.
Absolutely sensational.
Laugh along with unbelievable kids' edutainment like Paw Patrol. And experience unbelievable international shows like Law & Order and Lioness Special Ops.
Let's go!
Download the My DSTV app today and own the unbelievable.
Hey, do you know sir? And you stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it this way, you hear my tina watch. New year it's now watch. No be a baby some some demoni in us. Do you know I'm saying? Fair quiet, yes, in Biara Association Ontario. Use stay soft and new year it's now watch. Nani boss to tap from cry. A fabric softener. And you near say sir. Choose to stay soft. No who's so say no. FDID a dreading crowd to yatu.
Electroland Extravaganza Easter Promotion no Emanin Chow ho. Water na wunya discounts. Ewa ye Samsung Easter Promotion. Na ye media Easter Bonanza ni die. Diusa hoju obebre. Say adie. Ubenya Nasco Bena if we 499 Ghana cedis. Na so 1,599 cedis a. Ubenya 32-inch Nasco LED TV. Na ye Nasco top mount freezers ni die. Started free 1,799 Ghana cedis. Na ye Nasco chest freezer no 2,599 Ghana cedis pay o. Ubenya free desktop computer. So what ye Nasco 6 kg, 7 kg, 8 kg, and 10 kg washing machine no. Kanwo na kwa ye showroom se wo Ghana fan nyina na chedie ne buso. Nemo minhyehyɛ kakra wo ho. Electroland Ghana Limited. Biaye ba kwa e wo nemu nyama efe na ne bo dafem.
Mom, please can I have some milk in my Milo? Have you tasted it? No, but I didn't see you add milk. Hey, taste it before you ask me any questions. Hey, milk na chum say. This is Milo all in one. Milo Pampa, cocoa, malt, milk show, everything is inside.
Milo All-in-One already comes with more milk. Just mix with water and taste the nourishing goodness of quality cocoa, malt, and more milk all in one sachet. Milo, the energy to go further.
This advert is FDA approved. So you need a vehicle tracking system to manage your fleet. But how do you choose the right company for real results? Most tracking companies just sell you a system and leave you on your own. But at Instroma GPS, we go beyond that. With expert consultation, real-time tracker monitoring, emergency support, and constant updates, we make sure you maximize savings and efficiency. Join hundreds of businesses that trust Instroma GPS for world-class fleet management. Call 024-676-7662 now for a free demo. Instroma GPS. Your choice, your savings.
As a busy professional, I struggled with back and neck strain from long hours at my desk. To improve my focus, productivity, and well-being, I sought expert advice from the CEO of Expert Office Furnish.
After being in the furniture business for 25 years, I can tell you two things that causes back pain in the workspace: bad sitting posture and not sitting on a good chair. I recommend to you the Genevia Beeper chair, the chair that helps you to sit right. When you don't sit right, it beeps for you to be able to sit right. The next will be the Enjoy chair. It takes every body shape and size. Buy a chair that will support your back and give you that comfort to be able to deliver on your job.
Expert Office Furnish offers molding furniture for comfort, productivity, and style. From seating to customized solutions, plus interior decoration services, they've got it all. Find them off the Atomic Hills Estate Road in Ashonman or call 0571 386602 on Facebook and Instagram at Expert Office Furnish.
Burna Boy, Trevor Noah, Black Coffee, Chimamanda the writer, Febe Mugugu the fashion designer.
And many more young African icons didn't get where they are by following mainstream paths. They did things differently. Say yes to doing things differently. Say yes to the creative person within you, the maker, innovator, entrepreneur. Chart a new path, learn new skills, globally recognized by the American Welding Society and Pearson's BTech. So whether in Ghana or abroad, you will shine. Say yes to DTI, a learning experience that is next level. Go to dtiafrica.com or call 054 169 3534.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
27 minutes past 9, City Breakfast Show this morning discussing the Tamale Teaching Hospital, generally looking at healthcare delivery, quality of facilities, quality of service, equipment. But here's some exciting news from the bank with a cool tagline, not just another bank. Yes, you heard us right. MMDCE Bank's new tagline is not just another bank. We're redefining banking with a new commitment to making our cherished partner the happiest customer. Visit any of our branches to update your records with us or call 0307 086 000 or call toll free 0800 100 790. MMDCE Bank, not just another bank. If you're tired of HR headaches, simplify your business with Hot Jobs Africa. As your one-stop HR shop, we handle recruitment, labor outsourcing, expatriate management, consultancy services, and corporate training. Plus, we offer staff busing and 100% staff support to boost productivity. Don't let HR hassles hold you back. Contact Hot Jobs Africa today. Call 0303 980362 or WhatsApp 0204 336004. Hot Jobs Africa. Think HR, think Hot Jobs Africa. And something exciting is happening. FVV Foods is proud to announce the grand opening of our wholesale outlet Nexa Foods right here in Kwabenya near the community market. From now till end of month, come and enjoy our special sales promotion on your favorite fresh locally produced products. We've got FVV chicken in all your favorite cuts, including breast, thigh, wings, back, and our famous mixed box with all the parts. Perfect for your family meal or bulk buying. And that's not all. We've stocked up on FVV jasmine rice in 1 kg, 5 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. Clean, aromatic, and proudly made in Ghana. We're open daily from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Find us at Kwabenya, just by the community market, or call 0541 187 932. Nexa Foods, fresh, local, and affordable. And the DVLA is excited to roll out the 2025 National Community Outreach Program themed Educating for a Safer Tomorrow, a major step in bringing DVLA services closer to you through our express mobile service known as the DMOPS. Now, this initiative is all about accessibility, education, and service delivery, combining public education on road safety and licensing regulations with on-the-spot DVLA services like issuance of licenses, renewal, and replacement of your driver's license. We are partnering MTTD, the Ghana Optometric Association, Ambulance, Fire Service, and Road Safety, and GPRTU to make this happen. We are launching this today, Thursday, 24th April, New Plan Station, 10 a.m. For more information, call 054-939-9981. Let's read a few final comments as we wrap up the segment.
So this one says that most of the MRI machines at the various hospitals are not functioning. They haven't been functioning for months, and some even years, including that of the 37 military hospital. This person claims we have to take our mom out to a private setup. We have to take our mom to a private setup to undertake these tests and bring results back to the hospitals. It's alleged that most of these machines belong to the practitioners, hence no urgency to repair them. Listening to the MP, I'm more disappointed in the health minister. I thought the death happened on the same day he went to the hospital, not knowing it had happened way before his arrival. He still chose to audit a mortality in public with the media around. Bernard, I wish you can go and stay at the emergency of any public hospital for a day to see how hospital workers break their back and empty their wallets to save patients. Akwesi from Lab. Good, Bernard. If our public officials use our public health facilities like Tamale and Kolebu Teaching Hospital, there'll be no need for a surprise visit to know the true state of affairs. If the public hospitals are no good for politicians, why should they be fit for we, their citizens? Kujo from Adenta. Bernard, you've spoken my mind. Godfred, what do you really want to say? Should the minister be an armchair minister? I don't really know what you want to say. The doctors didn't whistle blow when they didn't have the logistics to work with. Are you just arguing because you want the conversation to go on, or you have genuine concerns? Meshach from Chama says, I totally disagree with Godfrey. Lots of things have been swept under the carpet for too long, so the minister going there was not to create a public show. The minister did not start firing immediately. Good morning, Flora from Legon, also on my case. Says, Doctor, this morning you are going very wayward. I don't understand your submission. The media and camera was necessary. Necessary. Bernard, your submission is on point. Good job. Please, nurses and doctors don't need a job if they go on strike. The minister and hospital should recruit new people ASAP. The new people you are recruiting, they all belong to the same union. It's not like they are coming from somewhere. They all belong to the same union.
Things are deep, systemic.
Bernard, honestly, it was unfortunate for that particular doctor because he's one of the best and even uses some of his personal resources. Even though his later statement about blowing someone's death out of proportion was in bad taste, and perhaps that is why it ended the way it did. The visit was valid because the rot is too much, especially from the cleaners and nurses, and not so much to the doctors. But the doctors are in charge and spend more than 70% of their time on their personal hospitals than at the teaching hospital. They also refer most patients to their private facilities when the teaching hospital can handle those issues. Good morning, Bernard. Please tell Godfrey that if the minister didn't go to the hospital, Cameron and journalists, mobile phones would have brought us the news anyway.
Okay, so let's end this by asking, what are the key next steps? From one, do you guys believe the minister should apologize so that people come back to work?
I'll leave that to his sense of judgment. But what I believe, I just want to provide information that, this week, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health is actually visiting every regional hospital and teaching hospital this week.
Okay.
So they started on Tuesday. They have 3 teams going around all the regional hospitals and teaching hospitals. So I'm sure the problems of these hospitals would have been highlighted to the Parliamentary Select Committee this week as they make their rounds. Their visits will end tomorrow for them to attach a certain level of urgency to some of the needs of these hospitals and the workers who work there, as well as the concerns of the general public about just the environment and perhaps the perceived lack of proper care that they receive at some of these facilities. But again, whether he should apologize or not, I'll leave it to him.
So that's point number one.
His good sense.
In terms of equipment, is there need for a general sort of reaction to this, or just Tamale?
No, Bernard, I think we've done more than enough stories as a station over the past decade to make a case for why we need to equip our hospitals better. We've spoken several times about, and the person who sent you that message about, the point made by our friend at the CDD.
Yes.
What's in his name?
Yes, Dr. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
If you look at the needs of hospitals in this country, and the fact that we just spent 4 billion. We just spent 4 billion to try and build hospitals that we might never complete and never put health professionals in, whilst the existing ones can barely breathe. It just tells you where our priorities have always been. Okay, so it's about realigning the resources that we have to make sure our regional hospitals, our teaching hospitals are well run. And the final point for me on maintaining accountability, I made this point about when we're talking about police, for instance. I don't know how hospital boards function, and how some of these boards function in terms of, oversight. But they need to find ways of getting the regular Joes on some of these boards. You see, because when some of these incidents happen, they being on the board, they are not there for their medical expertise, but they are there for public confidence. Okay, so hospitals and all police, all these public-facing organizations need to get regular Joes on the boards that deal with accountability.
Okay.
So that when something comes out, the regular Joe's point is also heard, and they tell us that, okay, this is what it is.
Okay, so those are some recommendations. Any more before we wrap this up? I have a couple of interviews coming through. Just a final.
I think we the logical thing is to invest more in resource in our hospitals, which is a financial decision, a funding problem which we need to deal with. But you see, the funding element is a one-off intervention. But what I think we should go beyond, again, it may be far-fetched, but our TVET, institutionalizing our TVET focus in our education and bridging that technicianship gap in managing the hospital equipment.
Okay.
Because the rate at which equipment break down in this country, I think it's a record.
It's serious.
And most of them, when they break down, it takes a cycle of between 6 months and 1 year before somebody...
Sometimes you have to bring somebody from China to come and fix it.
Somebody from another country. We have institutions here.
Yeah.
So why don't we now target this technicianship thing so that we can... Because as for the buying, every political party, when they come into power, they will do some buying.
So that's not the long-term solution.
The long-term solution, how do we manage it so that we... Because, look, power switching up, light off, on and off. You think the MRI machines won't be destroyed?
Yeah.
And look, go to Kolebu, look at the lifts. Kolebu lifts.
Will fit car inside there?
Yes. Because the power on and off, I'm just saying that it's a bigger problem. But the minister, I think I like his energy.
It's enthusiasm.
I like his energy.
Channel it in the right way.
But he will grow up. He will grow in the work.
He's a great guy.
You know, if he surrounds himself with proper people, he will grow up. But if you surround yourself with party people who will clap for you whether you do wrong or
that's the problem.
Right?
I think the public image has to be managed
better
properly going forward.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Because he's a great guy. He has easily one of the biggest. He runs easily one of the biggest farms you have in the north of the country, and it's in the northern part of the country. Yes, yes.
Oh, I thought it was.
He's from the
Western North.
No, but in terms of his farm,
he's a farmer.
Yeah, so he's a great guy. He's a great manager in his own right.
Lovely.
But in terms of how he manages that public image, that's where the difficulty is. I don't believe that he went there with bad intentions, but it produced a result that is not the very best. They should find a way of resolving that.
But they've replaced the director.
Yes.
The
DG, MD.
That's called 24-hour economy.
When we come back, friends from BNFT are joining us for a big conversation on the Money Summit. What are the outcomes? Who are the speakers? And why is EcoBank partnering with BNFT for the Money Summit? Stay with us.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you ready to dance the night away? The gentleman himself, Abrantia Amachi Dede, is coming live to light up the stage at Corridor Gardens Restaurant and Bar on Friday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Get ready for timeless high life hits, electric performances, and a night filled with good vibes, good music, and even better memories. Into Sawano Erbabe Groove, Erbabe sing-along, another Erbana Abe soak up the legend in action. This is the show you don't want to miss. Tickets are flying fast. Regulars going for 500 Ghana cedis, VIP 700 Ghana cedis. Dial star 713 star 33 star 60 hash to grab yours now. Call or WhatsApp 0257 700 037 or 0536 221 606. Amachi Dede Live. One night, one legend, one unforgettable experience.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial star 770 hash and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Hi, Mom, it's me, Kwame.
Hey, Kwame. How are you?
Mom, I'm fine, oh.
Okay.
You know something?
No, tell me.
I'm looking for a complete furniture set for my new place.
Kwame, I've told you before, the only one place you should go, eh?
Yeah, Mom, but I need a mattress to fit my bed.
Ash foam.
I need a bed to fit my room.
Ash foam.
What about a sofa where go relax my body?
Ash foam.
Wardrobes to fit all my clothes?
Ash foam.
What about linens and pillows for sweet dreams?
Kwame. Ash foam.
Mommy, I feel you. Ash foam all the way.
From mattresses to beds, sofas, wardrobes, linens, pillows, and more. Don't waste time and visit any Ash foam showroom across the country or call our hotline at 0243 200 729. Ash foam. Feel it, know it.
Mom, please can I have some milk in my Milo? Have you tasted it? No. But I didn't see you add milk. Hey, taste it before you ask me any question. Hey, milk na chum say. This is Milo all in one. Milo pampa, cocoa, malt, milk and show, everything is inside.
Milo All-in-One already comes with more milk. Just mix with water and taste the nourishing goodness of quality cocoa, malt, and more milk all in one sachet. Milo, the energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, boss. I just drove out of your premises. I've called you several times. Boss, I beg.
I gave you an opportunity to present your proposal with your financial statements. You didn't. If we approve and request for an invoice, that will take you another month, eh? You couldn't even provide receipts from the last job. My brother, we have given the contract to someone else who promptly furnished us with what we needed. Get serious.
Yehoah.
Don't be caught in this mess ever again. Restart with Build. Build provides businesses with a comprehensive accounting software with features that make your bookkeeping, accounting, tax, and payroll functions seamless. Our support team is always available to assist and respond to all your inquiries. Log on to www.build.africa and sign up. Call 030-80-4007 or 0303-974-832 for more information. Build. Bookkeeping made simple. Results made extraordinary.
It's heydays at the Junction Mall, and it's bigger, better, unmissable. From now until May 4th, the Junction Mall is the place to be for everything from the hottest gadgets and appliances to fashion, food, and fun, all at up to 70% off. Shop and win amazing prizes. There'll be cultural displays, live band performances, Junction aerobics for the fit and fun, and kids paradise with face painting, boat rides, bumper cars, and so much more. Bring the family, grab your squad, and do not miss a single moment. It's not just shopping, it's heydays at the Junction Mall, and it's bigger and better than ever before. Follow us at the Junction Mall GH on Facebook and Instagram, or WhatsApp us on 0540-221-774 for more details. The Junction Mall. Join, explore, shop, enjoy.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Quarter to 10, City Breakfast Show. Now let's talk about money. Dr. Gordon Akwe is the CEO of BNFT. Francis Dazibotu is a finance manager of the same company. The Money Summit is happening next week, organized by the BNFT in partnership with EcoBank. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Talk to me about the Money Summit. I like the name. Is that where we come and make money, get money, or think about money?
So, a very good morning to Ghana. Once again, we have the Money Summit. This is the 5th edition. So Money Summit is a platform for talking about money. Anything money, that is what we talk about. This year, our theme that we are considering is optimizing investment and pensions management. Strategies for sustainable retirement income and economic growth. So I am so passionate about this event because of two things: the investment and then the pensions aspect of it.
Okay.
Yes. So we would want all and sundry, young, youth, everyone, to be on board. In person, you have to be invited, but we'll have social media, interactions and feed, live feed. I am so passionate about this because right from the onset, I chanced on an event where we were advised that when you start work, you have to start planning for your retirement.
Okay.
Yes, and you would realize that many people or some people get to the age of 60 years and then realize they haven't planned for their pension. So it's usually difficult for them to even retire.
Okay.
Yes, so we are told that when you're working, whatever standards that you set for yourself, when you go on pension, you shouldn't be. You should be able to experience the same standard of living. So investment starts right from the onset when you start working. We want to cultivate the habit of investment, on the micro level and then also the macro level.
Okay.
So individually, you want to cultivate that habit of putting away something. The money that you use in buying pizza and all that, put it away into investment. Now the question is, where do you invest? Where is your investment secure? I went around asking a few people, and the kind of answers I got was so interesting. One even said that, if you have money, 100,000, 1 million, he would invest in building a church house. I said, how? I said, but if someone is organizing church in a classroom and you offer them a church house and the members grow, they have, offertory every month, every year, they'll be able to pay you back. So there are very varied, aspects of investment. We want to learn. Personally, if I have money, where do I invest now? At the background of the DDEP, lack of confidence in the economy, we want to stir up that confidence, in the investor community.
Okay.
Yes. So
let's talk about what kind of people are going to participate and what are the expected outcomes for this event.
Okay, so we are expecting people from the Bank of Ghana, NPRA, Security and Exchange Commission. These are people in the financial sector who know their staff, and they are coming to give us what we need. Like my boss said, the DDEP has dealt a devastating blow to the confidence of investors. So, they will be there to at least let us know what other options, what other alternatives are there for investors to also take advantage of. For pension, anyone who aims to cross the 60th birthday is pretty much someone who should be concerned about this conversation.
Right.
People even retire earlier than 60 years, and so pension issue is an issue that concerns everybody.
Okay.
So it's something that we are inviting everybody to come and have come empty and go loaded. I mean, we have people who have the know-how, like the people I mentioned from these institutions. They are all coming to share their perspective so that we all have our share from the event.
Who are the speakers for this event?
Okay.
Right, so we have Dr. Etuahini, Joe Jackson, Mante of EcoBank, Dr. Sapara Grant, Glyco, one of the experts in pensions, Austin Game, Kwabna Buama, and a lot more.
I see. And who are your partners for the event?
Okay, so we have EcoBank being the lead sponsor for the event. Stanbic Bank is also there. We have Fidelity Bank, SNET, Glyco Pensions, World Vision, HR Certification, Bank of Ghana, Truster AI, and the media partners, Citi FM, Live TV3, Asasi Radio, Metro TV, 3FM. They are all supporting the event.
So where is it happening? When is it happening? And how can people register? Doc.
So it's happening at Kempinski.
Okay.
Special invitation. We'll be sending out invitations. We've sent out invitations, and we would want all and sundry to join our social media platforms, to monitor what will be going on there. Because we can't have everyone at Kempinski. It's at 9 a.m. sharp on Tuesday.
Is there a way of registering, or it's too late?
It's
strictly by invitation.
Yes,
I see. Those who are coming are coming. Yes, I see. Yes. Wonderful. So that's the Money Summit brought to you by BNFT in partnership with EcoBank and other partners. It's Tuesday the 29th at Kempinski Hotel. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on the program. We've been talking to Dr. Godwin Akwe, CEO of BNFT, and Francis Darcy Bochwe, who's the finance manager of the SIP company, organizing the much-awaited Money Summit this Tuesday at Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast. Eight minutes to 10, still on the City Breakfast Show. Lots of comments coming in on the health sector. And I can't believe the number of comments still coming through, and there's so many views on this issue, and
it's a very divisive issue. But at the end of the day, I think there should be a convergence point, and that's where we have moved to now. The problems of the hospital must be attended to, and where there is misconduct on the part of the people who are supposed to use these equipment to help, people get well. We should investigate it using the proper procedure, and appropriate sanctions must apply. Where there is no need for any sanctions, we must also ensure that sanctions do not apply.
Let me read what the doctor says. This matter is very complex and multifaceted one. It cannot be solved in a year, let alone in a day. Government needs to put its money where its mouth is. There's a lot to fix, but it doesn't get solved or even minimally improved by the way the minister is going around. Let me say this, and it's very important. The hospital is a very protected space. Patients are present with complex problems for which often these cannot be made public. Even the health of the president, the most public figure, is not put out in the public domain. The actual, I don't know what you mean by the actual of the minister parading around with cameras in hospital space is a serious breach of patient's confidentiality, and he must stop. What happens if a person with a newly diagnosed condition of a very sensitive nature is in the hospital at the time the minister enters that space and is accidentally caught on camera? I leave that for you to conclude. Also takes issue with the suggestion that a doctor of 7 years equivalent to a nurse is not very happy with that. All right, there's always professional pride in these discussions, and I'm not sure the that was somebody's suggestion. That doesn't mean that we endorse it necessarily. The truth is that there's a lot more that needs to be put in place to help our health facilities do a better job.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
And a happy birthday to Kamaru Abdullahi. I call him Kamaru the cameraman. Works with Citi Channel 1 television. Yeah, Kamaru Abdullahi celebrating his birthday today.
I know very special people were born today.
A lot of my friends were born today. I've mentioned some already. Yeah. Happy belated birthday to the Agbogbo Mafia of the Asogli State. Togbe Apede the 14th. Yesterday was his birthday. And he celebrated that with lots of requests coming through. We didn't see them early. So Togbe Apede the 14th. That's for you there. You just need small motivation to enter the spirit. Oyo, if that's coming.
Oyo, Kamina, Togbi Cho. What's that? Then the Chireji, or Chireji.
Amen.
Amona Chia Utada. Ganava. Fafana Noni.
Thank you.
Manafana Mia.
Very important.
Now, Mother does Suvodi Badamia Mure. Bere. Majajino.
Ato.
No, never went on a climure. How Manijagala Jutofu.
Thank you.
Miateran Wallow Rete.
Thank you.
But Subana Komia. You are
too much. I should make you a linguist. They speak the language with reckless abandon.
So
where have you taken us this
because
morning?
Togbi is from the middle part.
You want to play Bobo? He doesn't understand.
He
he just did play something.
But Togbi, Merakuku is a Merakuku, yeah, for my yeah, it will be well, Togbi.
You are giving him fans.
Yes. Because he's distinguished. He's in the class of his own.
Accomplished.
So, yes, he's a
business leader.
Yes.
In his own right.
Yes.
Togbi Afede. And on that Bobo note, we want to.
Oh, yeli.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sky.
Oh, yeli.
I can see that I have stimulated you this morning.
No, I'm going to continue.
I know. Coming up next is City News at 10 with Ejubi. Good morning, Ejubi.
Good morning and welcome to City.